What's up, guys? Welcome to Packers Total Access Training Camp Edition live, bringing you all the coverage, all the updates coming out of Ray Nitschke Field today over in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We're going to be talking about everything Green Bay Packers. We'll be giving you the play-by-play in the 11-on-11s. We'll be giving you a live feed of what's going on around social media with everyone who's covering the Packers in that regard. So really excited about the day. If you guys have already tuned in to our other two live episodes covering training camp, you know what to expect. Going to be more of the same, and we're going to have a good time in here getting you guys up to date on what's going on in and around your Green Bay Packers here in training camp. Before we get into it, if y'all would do me a big favor, hit that like button, hit subscribe, click the bell icon. Appreciate y'all making us a part of your morning. If you're at work, don't get fired, all right? But maybe push the rules just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Push them just enough, man. You never know. Like I said, you get bubble guts. Got to go to the bathroom for an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 40 minutes, whatever you got to do. Do your thing. Jacob, you ready to go around the league real quick, get some updates? And obviously, Matt LaFleur was just at the podium. We'll get all that information as well. How excited are you this morning, man?
I'm ready to go, man. I'm excited. I think the chat's gearing and ready to go. It looks like we got a lot of people filing in here already. I saw some people saying they're hiding in their cubicles. Look. We didn't tell you to do it. Yes, we did. So anyways, yeah, just yeah, like Jen said, bring the earbuds.
Yeah, you got to get creative, man. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time.
Got the ear pod in at work. Shh, I told you guys.
There you go.
What's up?
Appreciate you. Silver Fox, a.k.a. the artist formerly known as Chris. So a little bit of news around the North we'll hit on first. This broke not too long ago. I want to be very clear here, man. I am not a fan that roots for injuries on other teams. I don't care how much I hate the other teams, how much I hate the other players. And I'm of the opinion that I would rather play a team at its strength rather than them be banged up. But the Chicago Bears continuing the trend here across the league. Jacob, man, there's been injuries like crazy this training camp so far. We talked about them over and over and over the last few days. But Ari Mirov tweeted out Bears safety Kobe Bryant, who signed a 3-year, $40 million deal this offseason, was carted off the practice field today with an apparent knee injury per Adam Hodge. So yesterday he was making highlight reel interceptions, right? I remember the Bears team social media account tweeted it out, showed him with a high point in the ball and intercepting a pass there in practice. You hate to see it, man. Again, there's so many of these going around, like Kirby Joseph. His season's up in the air, obviously, with the knee injury. We talked about Breesy down there in, what was it? I think it might have been New Orleans, the young defensive tackle, who obviously I think he tore his ACL. He's out for the year. And we don't know any further details on Kobe Bryant here with the Bears, but doesn't look good. They carted him off. They said he was emotional, had his helmet in hand, and was pretty upset about it. So just hate to see it. And obviously thoughts and prayers up to Kobe Bryant and every other player that's dealing with injuries. And this is why we got to kind of harness ourselves a little bit, right, Jacob? But we hear these players holding out a training camp for a deal. Imagine if Kobe Bryant hadn't signed a deal and he's on the last year of a rookie deal where he's making $700,000 or $900,000 or whatever, right? You can understand why someone would hold out, because if this happened to a player that didn't get the bag, didn't get the security there and some guaranteed money, he would be looking at having to try to rehab, build himself up for next year, and he's going back in probably with a similar contract next year. But anything you want to add to the Kobe Bryant injury there?
No, I mean, I think you said it pretty well there. It's not something that I would ever hope for, pray for, or anything like that. I kind of like your sentiment. I wish that every single team could just have their best 11 versus best 11. We didn't have to worry about these injuries. Therefore, though, you guys would have to play us with Micah and Tuck, you know what I mean? So be careful what you wish for there. Even though it's the Bears, even though it's Kirby Joseph, you know, two of the teams that I absolutely can't stand, probably the most other than the Vikings. It's never something that you'd like to see. Plus, I think that I heard Kobe Bryant's a pretty decent guy.
So I've heard the same thing. Artie's a phenomenal human being. So
that's I don't want to see that. And then you always think that you can tell how bad it is by the player's reaction, and the way that he reacted doesn't sound like it's a very good situation there.
Right. Mitchell's mommy in the chat says, do we have any details on the CV injury? I do like Cisse getting time to shine, though. So Tom Silverstein tweeted out, this was from Matt LaFleur's press conference, okay, just a few minutes ago. Packers coach Matt LaFleur said that cornerback Carrington Valentine has a leg injury and will not participate today. Didn't seem interested in giving any more info than that. Now, I will say this about the injury, for what it's worth. To the best of my knowledge, he did not go into the locker room and stay in the locker room or get any extra tests, I don't believe. It looked like he was on the sideline yesterday holding his helmet. So sounds like it's more preventive than anything. However, Matt's not going to give he's going to give as little detail as he possibly can. Obviously, that's what good coaches do. You don't want to tip your hand and all that good stuff. And the other thing too is like, I remember way back in the day with Tom Coughlin sticking his foot in his mouth down in Jacksonville, talking about James Lowman Stewart, and basically said there was nothing wrong with him. Like, I don't know why I'm practicing. If you go with that approach and you try to minimize it, and the players truly hurt, now it makes them look soft. It looks like they're not doing everything they can. So it's just best to keep your mouth shut. And I know us fans, we get frustrated when the coaches and the reporters won't say much about details in that regard, but that's why they do it, right? There's really no positive that comes out of giving extra details on the injuries. So, let's see what else we got. There was something else I wanted to hit on here real quick. Actually, let's just go ahead and get into the rest of the updates here in terms of Matt LaFleur's presser. So we'll just kind of scatter shot here. Wes Hockwitz says LaFleur says no one-on-ones today, but maybe tomorrow. Carrington Valentine has a leg injury. He won't practice today. So it sounds like he may practice tomorrow. So that kind of reaffirms what we just said, that it's probably not as big a deal as some of us are worried it might be, right? And then he goes on to say, let's see, everybody just kind of giving the same update. I love it. By the way, Zack Tom has changed his last name. This is a story that kind of broke yesterday in the locker room. They asked him about it. This is exactly what I thought too, man. David Bakhtiari just tweeted out, and I'm going to butcher the last name. I'm not even going to attempt it, but it basically goes back to his Nigerian roots, right? And I absolutely love this. I've had family members or I have friends that found out, hey, this person was adopted in my family line, and that wouldn't have been my last name. It should have been this, and they've had their name changed back to, what it should have been. But anyway, an easy way, this is what I'm going to say until Zack Tom says he doesn't like it. But we used to call David Bakhtiari Bach, right? D-Bach. We would say that too. David Bakhtiari actually tweeted out, D-Bach, handshake, Z-Bach. So I like it, man. Z-Bach for Zack Tom, obviously. Do you know how to pronounce the last name, Jacob? Not that it really matters right off the bat, but
I thought it was Bako Biweli, but
all right, got it.
I probably just butchered that. I'm about as white as the driven snow, so we'll see.
right. I love it though, man. I know there were some people that got upset about it. That's stupid. Okay, cool. Man, I don't care what people. I don't care. That stuff doesn't bother me. What people want to call themselves, or they want to do a name change, just like the Chad Ochocinco. Sounds kind of silly, changing your last name to 85. If that's what he wants to be called, call him that, right? I never did get that, but I know this. It's pretty cool that he done a little bit of digging and learned about his family heritage. I'm all about ancestry. If you guys don't know, I am a nut for that stuff. I got digging into my ancestry, and it got ugly quick, Jacob. There was like
your family was moonshiners, just like mine, right?
Yes, bro. My great grandfather, there was no trace of him. I'm like, what the heck happened to this cat, right? And I go digging. He went to prison twice, killed his uncle, and actually got shot and killed himself in his 40s, I believe it was. So it's like that explains why I never got to hear about the guy, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But we actually were able to find his unmarked grave over in deep in the hills of a place called Happy, Kentucky. That place ain't very, I'm just going to tell you, it ain't very happy over there. I don't know why they named it that, but anyway. So with that being said, go ahead. Anything you got in the chat, I'm going to continue to hit refresh here. I'm sure the gang is on their way over to practice already.
Yeah, Chad Ink was just coming in saying he heard that the dentist, DDS, got a little too close the other day and actually touched Love. Big no-no. I mean, hey, man, the rookie's trying to show that he's got the juice and everything. But, yeah, definitely you want to make sure that you stay away from red means hot. I learned that as a kid. Don't touch the stove. All right. But I like the effort that he's shown. He's got to learn how to pull up a little bit. Luke Hunt, 419, says, well, Jen, I'm definitely worried about Smack, talking about Trey Smack. He has zero competition now. Kickers lost a ton of games last few seasons. Hopefully he pulls it together. I was pretty surprised that they let Haversick go. That was a very, just because we've kind of seen this before where, again, to Luke's point, I like having the competition. That's the whole point of having that pressure on you, especially as a kicker. I mean, that's one of the loneliest places to be in sports other than, your pitchers, your goalies, that kind of thing. Even though it's a team sport, that one's pretty interesting. And then the last one here we got is Mr. J. Lewis. Says, always sucks to see players go down before the season starts, especially with serious injuries, no matter who they play for. That, to me, I think, if you get injured in the season, I understand that's just sometimes the way the game's going to play. It's a vicious game. But even, just doing drills or something. Like, I remember, who was it, Navarro Bowman? Or was it that just literally was jumping right on the remember he came off the sidelines and like ripped his ACL or whatever it was.
Yeah, who was that?
It Navarro? I don't think it was Bowman. It was the other. It wasn't Patrick Willis.
But it was the other stud, right?
Yeah.
I think he signed with Seattle last year. I can't believe we can't remember. Dre Greenlaw, right?
Was it Greenlaw?
I think it was Greenlaw that happened.
I'm sure Chad will let us know here in 2
Yeah, that was horrible. It's like, golly.
Because it was one of those reactions too. He knew right away. Like, you know, as soon as he hit the ground, he knew, and then the other guys knew, and it kind of took the wind out of their sails at that point. But and that's again what I think that's nice to think of. Not nice, but at least we should look at the way that the body reaction from CV is that he didn't go right in. He didn't start pouting right away. I'm sure he was upset, but it sounds like that hopefully this is going to be more of a preventative thing. But
absolutely, man. I completely agree. So we got some other information. Now, if you guys have followed the channel, this will not be new news to you guys and gals because we've talked about all offseason where Matthew Golden projects in this offense. Now, last year he played all over the place. When Jaden Reed was out, he played a little F. When Christian Watson was out, he played a little Z. When Romeo Doubs needed a breather and the other guys were on the field, they would put Matthew Golden at X. You got to kind of look and see, all right, what does a player do well? Where do they fit in with the scheme? And what are the other strengths of the offense in which you don't want to force a square peg into a round hole just because this player looks better than others. Put guys in terms of deployment where they need to be most effective, right? So Jordan Love spilled the beans a little bit yesterday, and it's very subtle. Luckily, I caught it, and I tweeted it out. It actually got some runs up to 335,000 views now on this video, but he was meeting with the NFL Network, right? And I'm going to throw this up just to protect us here and make sure that we just get the audio version. Let's go with a little iced out Matt LaFleur here, all right? So this is what Jordan Love had to say about Matthew Golden, really the offense in general. Then I'll read the tweet and explain what it all means. Here we go.
I love it. You know, we got obviously Christian, Jay Reed, Tucker. They've been here, been in this offense. Now we're just building on all the little things we've worked on the past couple of years. You know, MG locked in now over there at X. And so
you hear it? MG locked in now over there at X.
I'm expecting big things. You know, he's had a great training camp so far, and it's all about just building on stuff from the years before. But I love the group. I love the guys we got. Obviously, like I said, we've been together for a couple years now. It's not our first rodeo together, which makes it fun to come out here and be able to play fast. And we understand each other, how to talk to each other when we're out here on the field. And like I mentioned, it's just building on all the things we've had from years before. I love it.
All right, so there you go. That was, like I said, Jordan Love talking about MG over there at X now, right? What does that mean? So I tweeted out, Jordan Love confirms Matthew Golden will be mostly playing X, essentially replacing Romeo Doubs in the offense. Golden being the X, Watson being the Z, Reed being the F. Now, it doesn't mean he's going to be in the X all the time. Keep that in mind. There was times last year we pointed out it was very rare, but Romeo Doubs actually played a little F. There were sometimes he was in the Z because you want to take advantage of other mismatches. Now, I've already seen on Twitter and other places across the internet, people are already having a pissing contest about that. Well, technically it doesn't mean this, but it means that. Guys, first of all, until you read Bobby Peters' books about Matt LaFleur's offense, you probably don't know much at all about his offense. Here's the other thing. It doesn't mean Bobby Peters is 100% correct all the time either. Here's the other thing. It doesn't mean things haven't changed since his 2019 book or his 2022 book, right? There's things that are constantly evolving and changing. The NFL stands for not for long. If you're not willing to change, you ain't going to be in this league for long. It's constant recycling of ideas and old passing concepts, old route combinations, old stunts, old, run blocking schemes, and melding two different run blocking schemes together. All these things are just constantly evolving and changing. But the point is, what do you need in a boundary X receiver? Now, what is the X? The X is the receiver. This is traditionally how it's designed. Okay, explain. The X is a receiver that lines up on the line of scrimmage opposite of the tight end, meaning the tight end is going to be on the opposite side of the formation. Now, Bobby Peters has talked about this in his books over and over and over, that it seems like, he didn't say, oh, it's definitely, this is all the X is in Matt LaFleur's offense, but it seems like most of the time the X is going to be on the weak side of the formation. Well, just because you're on the weak side of the formation doesn't mean you're on the boundary side. Just because you're on the weak side of the formation only means you will be opposite the tight end. So the rule still applies there. So again, the X will be on the line of scrimmage opposite of the tight end predominantly. There may be times where he's off the line of scrimmage too there. Keep that in mind. The Z will be on the tight end side of the field, typically off off of the line of scrimmage, okay? And then the F, of course, is the move guy. Now, you can throw in – I seen an awesome tweet from our boy Dusty Evely earlier today was talking about some of the notes from Bobby Peters' book as well, and which Dusty Evely is awesome. He understands football inside and out. One of my favorite follows on X. If you guys are not following him, you're really missing out. But he was talking about how the F can apply to – he was kind of mentioning it, in passing, I guess. It could apply to the tight end if he's a move guy or in a certain situation. Also in Bobby Peters' books, he always marked the halfback as the H. Well, the H-back, I was always raised in football that the H-back was more of a fullback type, right? It was the H and the T. So I still refer back to the running back being the T when it's a single back set, right? If it's a dual set, then you might refer to one as H. But if it's the F receiver lining up in the backfield in those pony packages in Matt LaFleur's offense, I'm going to call them the F. That's just the way I identify with it. So everybody's a little bit different. And again, that's what I love about Dusty Evely. There's a lot of give and take and learning from each other and whatnot. Some of these people, man, they get into a pissing contest and they just want to, I'm right, you're wrong. That's the way it is. So anyway, the point here is, this is what I said in the tweet as well. What's really cool is all three guys have played all three spots at some point and can be moved around. Packers 2026 offense about to be fired. Why do I mean that? Or what do I mean by that? If these guys have all got experience, Christian Watson played a lot of F his rookie year, right? Romeo Doubs, the one that didn't have as much experience in all the positions was actually, ironically, Romeo Doubs. He just played X 90% of the time. So Christian Watson's played F. Jaden Reed is your F, and Matthew Golden's played F. All of them have played F. All of them played X. All of them played Z. So there's some people, Jacob, that think Christian Watson should be the X because typically it's going to be the short side of the field, and you're in isolation because they've got the coverage bracketing to the field side. So that's going to give Christian Watson more one-on-one situations. But to me, I would rather have Christian Watson working with more space. And the reason that Matthew Golden fits the X is he's a good route runner and he's got strong hands. You want those guys that can win in the phone booth. And as we've seen a couple practices go, Jacob, you have Matthew Golden go up and moss two defenders, one of which was Xavier McKinney. He can make contested catches even as a smaller receiver. But anything you want to add to that? What's your comments on Jordan Love mentioning that Golden been over there in the X?
Yeah, I already put up coach's comment where he basically said, like, in reduced sets and pretty much any kind of altered sets, a lot of different players can be the X. Jen kind of went on to say the same thing, that once you get this kind of weird motion that's going on, that it's kind of reciprocal, that a lot of these guys can kind of, they've been asked, and that's what's more exciting to me is to your post here credit, like these guys have all played a lot. They understand that Matt LaFleur is going to be asking them to do quite a bit. Let's not forget about guys like Savion and Bo. Bo has played a lot of different positions too over his career. I think it's very, very interesting that we have a lot of these guys that are so well versatile at all these different positions. And again, Matt LaFleur, just like I think Gannon gets a lot of credit for having multi-versatile formations, not quite understanding what's going to happen right at the ball snap. I feel like Matt LaFleur is kind of his perfect counterpart on the offensive side, because it seems like we're going to keep him guessing on both sides of the ball, and I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So just hitting refresh, nothing coming across Twitter just yet for practice. We'll go there as soon as we have that info. If y'all would do me a big favor, smash that like button for us. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. You guys and gals are awesome. So this was a cool video that the Packers tweeted out yesterday. Javon Bullard off to a good start. I don't think there's any music. Let's see if it's slow motion or what have you. Watch Bull punch this ball out. And notice back here, who is that man right there? That's Bobby Babbage watching on. Short's a little bit short for me, Bobby, but still respect the game out there. Here we go. Boom. Look at that punch out, baby. Let's go. Now, there's always a positive and a negative, these type of things, Jacob. You don't want to see Sky Moore losing the fumble, but look at Javon Bullard, man. But I mean, I wouldn't call it a jab. I'd call it more of a straight, but just punching that ball out. You can see the emphasis on taking the ball away this year, man. Absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I mean, you guys know how much I love Bull. If you've watched any of the draft coverage, this last year, we got a little nervous his first year just because it seemed like he wasn't quite putting it together. But I think that jump that he made in year two, and then obviously seeing his progression right now, the old number change sometimes, it takes a couple of years for you to really come back to your roots. And if you go back, I always say, and watch his college tape, he's a headhunter. He's an absolute dog, and he reminds me of if you got a guy in the secondary that has that situational awareness, even if the guy makes the catch, go for that ball. And again, I'm not comparing anybody to Charles Woodson, but Charles Woodson was a absolute, probably the best I've ever seen at punching the ball out, doing that slap, even when he's coming from behind, like you said, actual boxing, like where it looks like he throws a jab. It's like, it's very hard to teach, because I'm sure that your brain in the moment is just make the tackle. If you're that type of player where you have the FBI, where you can actually take a split second and realize I can actually jab that ball out, it's a pretty encouraging sign to me, at least, that Bull's going to be taking that next step.
Yeah, and as Coach Lynn, I know you put it on the screen, but I just want to reiterate here. Boxing lessons are working for Bull, said Coach Lynn. He talked about in the offseason he was taking some boxing training, and that's why, to get better at being able to quickly, set your feet, throw that punch, knock the ball out. With Woodson, man, he had perfected, as he would go to tackle, he would grab with his left hand and his right hand, as he came in to secure, he would slap at the ball and secure the tackle. It was brilliant, genius. And, of course, Peanut Tillman, unfortunately, played for the Bears all those years. Yeah. He was great at the peanut punch, So it's huge, man. It's something that's very, very important if you're going to win the takeaway battle there, the turnover differential battle, I should say. It's definitely something you got to be focused on and be ready to do. So it's really weird. I'm going to close this Twitter out here real quick and see. Kind of feels like it's not resetting the way it should be. I imagine practice is probably underway, right? Is anybody else seeing any other updates on practice on Twitter? I'm not seeing anything. I'm going to check with Bill Huber real quick and see if he's got something. It was 43 minutes ago. Yeah, so I guess we're still waiting. We're still waiting for them to get over there. So while we're waiting, Jacob, let's go ahead and jump into the training camp tracker, unless you got a couple comments you want to hit real quick.
We can just clear a couple out real quick. It's kind of interesting how many people have ties. So too old for this. He said, I'm so pumped for Zack, BB Gun. He said, my mom grew up in Nigeria, so anytime we have a Nigerian connection, I'm very, very happy. Wouldn't have guessed that when I had that on my bingo card. Holmes MD says, my pops was a Nigerian officer in the Army. Hell nice. Yeah, dude. That's pretty freaking cool. Hey, Lil McCrocodile says, keep up the great work, gentlemen. Thank you for all the deep dives others don't do. Hope you and the chat have a great day. Appreciate that. And then real last one here from Kyle Andretti is saying Mike Evans is out for the remainder of the training camp with a hammy injury. And let's not forget they also now are without Pearsall for basically probably the whole year. So we're not the only ones that are dealing with certain injury bugs, and a lot of them are way more severe, I would argue. So
yeah, dude, it's that time of year, man. You hate to see anybody get banged up, and that's why it's worth mentioning too, Jacob, that when it happens to the Packers, we feel like we're the only team it happens to, right? Yeah. So you're seeing this goes on all across the league, right? Hopefully we can keep these guys healthy. Joe Trev with the super chat. Thank you so much. He says, I'll never forget when Woodson punched the ball out of Larry Fitzgerald's possession. Woodson did it to so many people, man. One of my favorite ones, I'm trying to think, Woodson sacked somebody. He was on a nickel blitz, and Dom Capers loved dialing up that cat blitz too. And he came in, stripped the ball, and as he didn't realize he stripped the ball, he got the sack, rolled out of the sack, and jumped up and started flexing. And as he's flexing, the ball's bouncing by him down the field. Didn't realize it was out. Clay Matthews came.
I was going to say Clay picked it up, right? Was that against the Vikes? No, maybe it wasn't.
I can't remember who it was against. I want to say it was like somebody like the Lions, but God, it was hilarious seeing Woodson flexing and everybody scrambling for the ball behind him. It's like if it was anybody else other than Charles Woodson, first ballot Hall of Famer, you'd be like, stop celebrating. But no, let that dude have his fun there for sure. So yeah, just another example.
Said it was the Cowboys. I think that.
It might have been the Cowboys. I might have been thinking the uniform was similar, right? Detroit's away and Dallas is away uniform. So that would check out. Yeah, we have no updates yet. This is really odd. Let's go to NFL news real quick. Oh, man, that's great news. Calais Campbell back at practice for the first time out there in Baltimore. As you guys know, his family had that tragedy. We won't go into all the details again, but it was good to see him back on the football field. That's one of the good guys in the game of football, no doubt about it. So I'm trying to see if there's any other news across the league as we wait here. Oh, this is something that's interesting. So you guys know we were big. Hey, let's go sign Jadeveon Clowney guys, right? I know I was. I don't want to speak for you, Jake, but I felt like that would have been a perfect signing. Well, he ends up signing with Houston, the team that the team that actually drafted him, right? So it tells you that Goody is really excited about these young pass rushers. Again, I think it made all the sense in the world to go get Clowney. But at the same time, if DDS pops, we'll never think about it again, will we, Jacob? We'll just be like, nope, glad DDS is getting all those extra snaps. And then we got an Ari Mirov tweet here. It says, quote, Josh Sweat asked to be traded the day Jonathan Gannon got fired. He came to Arizona because of Jonathan Gannon, and he had the best seasons of his career because of Jonathan Gannon. It says Johnny Vulnerable explains what's going on with Josh Sweat, who is on the PUP list with, quote, knee maintenance. So you know what? I'm going to put this up here, and let's play this because Josh Sweat, if you guys haven't been keeping up this offseason, I know most people have, Josh Sweat actually – the rumors were the Packers made an offer to trade for Josh Sweat, right? So this seems to be some of the latest around Josh Sweat, and specifically around this man right here, Jonathan Gannon, who seems to be the reason that Josh Sweat is wanting to come to Green Bay. Did we lose? No, we still got it here. I think that'll cover it. Boom, there you go. Got to get that out there. So anyway, this was Ari Mirov. I think it was on his podcast, My Sports Update podcast, or NFL Spotlight with Ari Mirov. Here's what they had to say about the latest on Josh Sweat. And again, we're just waiting for practice to get cranked up. We'll get you guys all the details.
Josh Sweat, there were rumors floating around about him not wanting to be there anymore because Jonathan Gannon's not there anymore. And obviously those two are very close. Any sign of that, or is he locked in for this year in Arizona, ready to go?
So we reported on our show first, and you can take this to the bank. Your audience can take this to the bank. Like, he has to be traded the day Gannon got fired. That was a very emotional day at the facility, and Sweat was there in Arizona because of JG, and he's had his best seasons because of JG. And I know that, like, the team was not good, but Sweat was good. 12 sacks, could have had more. Had his best season in Philly with Gannon. He has to be traded, and the team was like, no, we're not going to trade you. And so they had a window to trade him, and they didn't. And now they need to figure out a way to get him back on the field. He's been on PUP to open camp. He's not a player in the history of, his NFL tenure who's missed time. So it almost feels like this is deliberate. They won't come out and say, what it is outside of a knee. And Mike LaFleur calls it maintenance. And who knows, it could be maintenance, but like he didn't.
Got to keep that up there for me, brother, man. I don't know if I dropped it down or you did. I might have done it.
Oh, my bad, man.
No, you're good. Go ahead. Put it back up.
Where did we get it now?
I'll get it. Don't touch anything else there. On the I think it's because you're hitting the graphic, the like and share graphic. So yeah. See if we can get this to play.
He didn't participate in the majority of the offseason. Like, he's around. I see him walking around with his helmet. Like, they need him. So, like, is this like, hey, you didn't trade me, give me a bump? Is this like, hey, I still want to be traded? They can't afford to trade him. Not right now. Like, if they were going to trade him, they would have done it in March, and they would have gotten, probably a top 50 pick for him, top 60 pick, and they would have allocated that to another edge rusher. They didn't do that, right? So I think he's very much on the trading block if this team is terrible at the deadline, because then you've got a year left on his deal. He is super productive. I think you could get a second-round pick for him.
Okay, so what you're seeing there, Jacob, it sounds like the conversation is now shifting to if he's going to be traded, it's going to be around the trade block or trade deadline time, right? So that's very interesting. The other thing that I got out of that I thought was really cool was it was a very emotional day in the facility when Jonathan Gannon was let go. Did you catch that? That says a lot about Jonathan Gannon, what the players thought about him, right?
Yeah, that's I did catch that. That perked my ears up. To me, that gives me all the more hope in the world. A lot of people like to label Gannon as kind of this nerdy, type of guy. That's fine. I don't care. I don't need a rah-rah guy. I think we have enough of those now finally in the locker room. And I think Matt LaFleur kind of holds that type of respect as the head of the franchise there. But I think Gannon is bring me on the nerd that's going to have a lot of guys literally want to chase him around the league. I'll take that just fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, you can be nerdy, you can be awkward, you can be quirky if it's legit, if it's authentic, right? What you can't be is fake. If you're fake, those players will see through that so quick and you will lose the locker room. It's over, right? And it's just funny to me that Jonathan Gannon kind of takes all the blame for Arizona being a bad organization when it's like, y'all been bad long before Jonathan Gannon got there. It's amazing y'all just keep cycling through all these coaches, and it seems to be the coach that's the problem. The coach that's the problem. Maybe, just maybe, y'all need to adjust something front office-wise, structurally within the organization, and maybe create your own legit type of culture, I guess you could say. But as you can see here, Ryan Wood with the tweet, day 5, Packers in full pads, football is back, training camp begins right now. Obviously, we're going to be out there thudding, that's the word that Matt LaFleur used, that they will be thudding today, which means contact but don't tackle to the ground, right? So you can see some of the shots. Looks like a beautiful day out there in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Mike Spofford with a tweet there, Rob Demoski with the tweet. First one in full pads is underway. Here we got a shot of Tucker Kraft getting the blocking drills going. Notice the sleeve ain't on the leg again, Jacob.
Let's
sleeve
go.
again. So
Bro,
love to see it.
right now in Green Bay, it's 73, perfect sun, no clouds forecasted whatsoever, and it's going to feel like it's about 85 around 3 or 4 o'clock, but they should be well off the field by that time. It's going to be did Tim get to go today too, or no? Is he stuck?
Not today. I don't think he's out there today. Yeah, if
man.
he is, he ain't going to tell us because we probably ruined his practice experience.
But what a perfect day to be in Green Bay. Oh man.
Yeah, it's cool. Does it show the wind? I'm curious to know about
there
the
is literally
no wind.
Doesn't look like any wind today.
Perfect. So again, if Trace Mack goes out today and he misses 2 of 5 field goals and there's no wind, now I can say, okay, guys, you can have a little bit of worry. But yesterday it was gusting out there, obviously.
Yeah, they're saying winds of about 3 miles per hour.
Got it. If you guys would take a quick second, smash that like button for us. We'll be here through the duration of practice. And Paul Brettel with a tweet here. Welcome to day 5. The pads are on. You see Javon Bullard. Look at the cleats. Love the cleats, man. A little neon green there.
Look at that.
Bull's looking good, Jacob.
I'm telling you.
Big step last year. Again, he was 15th in the league in run stop percentage, or just stop percentage in general. That's short passes as well. That was amongst all DBs. So that includes all the safeties, all the cornerbacks in the National Football League. There were only 14 players that had a higher stop rate than Javon Bullard. I think you're going to see him focus on taking the ball away a lot more, like we showed in that clip from practice yesterday. He's also kind of emerging as a leader. That's the thing I've noticed about him. He's not a guy going, I'm the best, I'm the man, I'm the top slot corner in the league. You never hear him say that, right? He just goes to work, and you see it on the field, and you could tell his teammates really respect him. I've been following him all offseason, and his IG stories were phenomenal of him working out. And you could just see how twitched up he was with the footwork, driving on the ball and whatnot. So I think we got a big year coming for Javon Bullard, Jacob, no doubt.
Yeah, I really, really do think it seems like a lot of people in the chat are finally getting pretty stoked up on him as I am. Very, very excited to see his progression. And to your point, he just seems like he's a leader. And to him to progress the way that he has, I'm excited, dude. He's just going to be, once he puts it all together, this league is going to have to deal with a lot of talent in our secondary, dude.
Yeah. Also, if you guys are watching on X, feel free to just go to YouTube and type in Packers Total Access, and you can actually interact with the chat. If you want to watch on X, that's totally cool. That's why we stream there. But if you want to get involved with the chat and see all the comments on YouTube, just hop over to YouTube. Make sure you sub to the channel over there. Sleeper NFL tweeted out Packers tight end Tucker Kraft out there in pads on this first padded practice day per Jordan Rodriguez. So Jordan Rodriguez in the house. If you guys don't know who Jordan Rodriguez is, make sure you give her a follow. She did the Play Caller podcast, or the Play Call. I think it was called the Play Caller podcast, like a 5-part series where it was the whole Shanahan tree, them talking about their upbringing back when they were the Piss Boys in Washington and all the way back to Houston, even before then, right? Like, it was just a phenomenal breakdown. But obviously Tucker Kraft being in pads is a huge thing here on day 5, technically, I believe. Jay Lewis with the super chat. Thank you so much, Jay. Says, Clay and Jacob, any mention of the formation involving a 3-safety look featuring Cooper in yesterday's practice? Wanted to know your guys' thoughts. I didn't hear anything yesterday, but here's the thing about the 3-safety look, Jay, and Jacob, I'm sure you remember us talking about this offseason. When you say 3-safety look, people immediately think we're going to be doing something crazy different, right? Well, guess who the 3rd safety is that they're using? It's Javon Bullard. Well, Javon Bullard's already on the field anyway. So, 3-safety looks it's going to look identical to our nickel 4-2-5 last year, where you're going to have 5 DBs on the field. So it's still a nickel look, right? Now there's a different aspect to it, what we call a penny front or a penny look, where they're going to bring the second stack backer. You got with a nickel, let's call it a nickel 4-2-5. Well, it'd be a 2-4-5 in it with a 34 roster essentially. So nickel 4-2 or 2-4-5. You've got 2 edge defenders, 2 big boy defensive tackles on the line of scrimmage, right? You've got 2 stack backers, all right? That's going to be Edgerrin Cooper and it's going to be Zaire Franklin. And then you got 5 DBs. So let's say it's Brandon Cisse and Keisean on the outside, and then your slot defenders Javon, Bullard, and your 2 safeties are Evan Williams and Xavier McKinney. That's your nickel 2-4-5 look, right? Well, when they go to the 3 safety looks, guess who the 3rd safety is? It's Javon Bullard. So he's not coming off the field. So you're still in your what's really a base nowadays, running at 80% of the snaps. You're still in your nickel 2-4-5 or 4-2-5, however you want to say it. The only difference is they're mugging Edgerrin Cooper in that penny look on the line of scrimmage. So they're showing a 5-man front, which on the surface almost looks like a dime formation. But when you count the DBs, there's actually 5 DBs, 2 stack backers, one of which is lining up as an edge defender. That's going to become a problem, Edgerrin Cooper rushing off the edge, because if a team comes out and they're expecting a 4-man rush and now they got to block 5, guess what? They got to take somebody out of the route concept to chip and help protect, right? So, again, now, if you're saying, have they shown any 3 deep looks? They did that a little bit in Arizona. They've done it in other places across the league. We actually called it out 2 years ago. It was becoming very popular in college football. It was bleeding into the NFL. I don't know if we're going to see as much of that. But Bullard did mention in OTAs and mandatory minicamp that he was showing some crazy looks on defense. I guess thinking that Bullard may be lining up in the slot, covering the 2 pre-snap and dropping deep and buzzing both safeties into the box. I kind of feel like that's the direction we're going in. But hopefully that answers your question, Jay. Again, when we say 3 safety looks, I don't think the personnel is going to change. I don't think you're going to pull Bullard off to put Oladapo out there. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense, Jake?
It does. Johnny, they actually used Coop as a back safety. And then he went on to say X, Williams, and Coop were actually deep safeties.
And see, and I don't consider Cooper a safety in that spot. It's just like this. When we run a Tampa 2 look last year, whenever we ran a Tampa 2 look, you would say, okay, Tampa 2 look means safeties covering deep halves, and then you got the Mike or the Will covering the 2 or the 3 down the seam, ended up with a 3 deep look. Technically, he's playing safety there, right? So I don't consider that a safety. I consider that he's still playing stat backer. Now, if you're saying he lined up in a 3 deep look, and then maybe what they're doing is they're showing 3 deep safeties and they have Coop barrel down and kind of spur down on it, that makes a little bit of sense. So
Coach says he heard that as well. So
yeah. So to me, we used to have Quay dropping deep down the seam. It sounds like they're having Edgerrin Cooper drop deep down the seam, if that makes sense. So it's going to be interesting, man. Again, we won't know until 4 weeks into the season, and then we'll go, okay, that's what they were talking about with the three safety looks, right? So, and I approach it from how the offense approaches it. That's the way I look at it. The offense is not going to go, Edgerrin Cooper's out there, we got to prepare for a 3 safety look. They're going to treat him like a stack back. They're not going to go, Edgerrin Cooper's out there, they're going to bring a 5-man rush. They're going to treat him like a stack back. That's how you mix and match personnel, right? When the offense goes onto the field, there's a coach on the sideline that will say 11, or he'll say 12, or he'll say 21, and then we'll call out a code name and match that personnel. So if they're in a 12 look, the one thing that nobody's talking about that showed up on the tape for me in Arizona last year is when teams would run 12 and 21, they would stay in their nickel. That's odd. That's rare, because typically you'll match base. You'll go to your base 34 or whatnot. That might be too along the lines of what people are referring to, is that when a team goes to a 21 or a 12 set, don't pull Bullard off the field and bring in a stack backer, leave him out there and let him kind of play stack backer essentially. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, love the conversation. Thank you for the super chat, Jay. You're the man. We'll continue to hit refresh here and see if the guys are out on the field doing any other drills. Looks like they are, Jacob, as things are starting to heat up here a little bit. Let's go, man. We're getting into it now.
Sounds like Jen might be there. She said that Mr. Sean Ryan can move a sled pretty darn good. So any other updates you want to throw in the chat, Jen? If you are there, let me know.
Yeah, I think Jen's at work, I believe. She probably seen a social media post. I could be wrong there, though. Aaron Banks appears to have a management day, but Brant Banks' hamstring is off the pup and practicing. So Brant Banks is back. That was Wes Hodkiewicz that threw that tweet out there. So again, Aaron Banks having another management day here. So he's not going to be practicing again today. I know that's going to tick some people off, and listen, I understand. I completely understand that. Ryan Wood tweeted out, Packers rookie offensive lineman Jagger Burton has returned to practice. He's in full pads and doing individual drills. So we get Jagger back today, Jacob. That's great news, man.
Yep, that's going to be really, really great for sure.
And here we got a good shot. The pads are on, and this blocking sled took Tucker Kraft's lunch money, is what it said. Matt Schneidman said. Let's see him hit the blocking sled there. So Tucker looking good, man. He's looking healthy. Let's watch the drive and the legs here. Again, this video via Matt Schneidman over on X. Make sure you guys go give these everybody a follow here that's contributing. Let's see here. Let's watch it again. Watch the drive. Bang. Looking good. Looking good, man. So far, so good with Tucker Kraft and the injury, man. Hopefully he can continue to stay healthy. Raw Biz, our resident Lions fan, pointed out the Lions signed linebacker Devin White. I've seen that. Devin White's one of those players that people either love him or they hate him. There's many people that think he's overrated. There's others that think he's a great football player. I'm kind of in the middle. If it had been Bush, like, unfortunately for you being a Lions fan, us being a Packers fan, the Bush signing at linebacker for the Chicago Bears was a stud linebacker that was signed. But Devin White, you never know, man. He has played good football in the past. I think he's been overrated. That's my personal opinion. But I don't know what you guys signed him for. But whatever the price is, obviously that determines whether somebody was, overpaid or underpaid. For me, I've never been really, really high on Devin White. That's just me personally. So definitely an older guy, as Coach Lynn says there. But congratulations, though, man. Hey, you never know. This might be the year he puts it together, and you got some extra veteran leadership there at sackbacker for sure. So, all right, see what else we got here. Sleeper Packers tweeted out Lukas Van Ness looking like he's ready for his breakout season. So here we go, Jacob. We get us a good look at LVN working the bag a little bit. Yeah, he looks yoked up, don't he, man?
That's a big dude. Hercules. I got to get that drop. Why don't we have that drop? Dude, look at him. He's just him trotting, just not even really looking like he's trying to do any sort of effort scares the heck out of me. I can't imagine when he's going full bore, barreling down against you. He's one of those guys. He's a get off the bus guy. We've talked about that many times. He is just an athletic specimen, dude.
Yeah. Absolutely. And let me go back to Raw Biz real quick. This is exactly what I'm talking about, Raw Biz. White had 170 plus total tackles. To me, tackles are a very, very, very overrated statistic. That's just, and we'll probably disagree on that. Quay Walker, perfect example in Green Bay, always had a ton of tackles. The problem was, how many stops did he have, right? What was the stop percentage? And I don't know White's numbers. Maybe White had an unbelievable number of stops last year. That could have been the case. But with everything taken into consideration, tackles are just like 1,000 yards. Well, he's never had 1,000 yards receiving. I could care less about that. What's he doing on a per snap basis, right? Same thing with running backs. Well, they had this guy had 1,100 yards rushing, and he only averaged 3.9 yards a pop. They ran him into the ground, and they weren't effective running the football. You know what I'm saying, Jacob? To me, it's a per snap basis is what really comes into play here.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. Obviously, you'd rather have him have at least a little bit of he kind of reminds me of Zaw. Zaw had a lot of tackles, but he was playing on a defense that didn't really support what he was doing. So to me, Zaw, though, is a little bit different because it seems like he's more downfield, going to come up and make the play sort of thing. But, I've went back and forth with what I think about Devin White. Joe Trev seems to think he's a good human. I don't doubt that whatsoever. Just sucks that he has to go to the Lions, Sorry, buddy.
Yeah. Love it. Let's see. I'm going to try to pull it up here on NFL Pro, not put it on the screen, but I just want to, he's got me thinking now. Maybe he was phenomenal last year. I want to see the stop rate
Did he bring it up because of the signing him just the 1 year?
Yeah. The Lions signed him. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. So let's see here. Season leaders. Let's go stack backer. All right. And then let's go qualified defenders only so we don't cheat them out of any rankings here. And then we're going to go 25. We have to go regular season because y'all didn't make the playoffs. Don't hate me for it. So he said Devin White, right? Am I thinking right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Devin White. It looks like he played for the Raiders last year. I didn't even realize he played for the Raiders. Let's see. Stops. Now they're not going to give me the stop rate, but I want to see where he ranked in stops here. Devin White in stops. He had 472 run D snaps. Okay. And he had 83 stops. That's a good number of stops there for sure. So yeah, had a pretty good year last year. When you finished 7th in stops, now again, the players that he's right there around only had 322 snaps, 376, 398. Bobby, put it in perspective. Bobby Wagner had 460. So he had 12 less run defensive snaps than Devin White, and he had almost 10 more stops. You see what I'm saying? But still, top 10 in stops. Yeah, it looks like he's playing pretty good football there for sure. Rob is. So, all right, moving along here, some more video footage. And again, is this Tucker again? Yeah, Ryan Wood with the footage here. Tucker Kraft working on ball security and individual drills, cutting on that knee. What do you think about Tucker so far, Jacob? He's looking good, right?
I think it's looking amazing. He went on to talk about, I know Jen brought it up in the comments, how the doctors were like, we've never seen a rehab like this. Like, basically said it's a miracle that your knee is as good as it is right now. And obviously, knock on wood, don't want to jinx that whatsoever. I'm just so excited for the world to really, really get to know who Tucker Kraft is. I think he's a star in the making. And with Travis Kelce eating that birthday cake, getting a little thick, you got the ascending guys like Brock Bowers. I would even argue Laporta's up there. I think Kittle's getting a little long in the tooth as well. Trey McBride, I just don't feel like he's going to have the best supporting cast around him, which maybe means he has even more of a breakout year because that's the kind of go-to safety valve there. But I think that the national media and a lot of sports fans are either sleeping on Tuck or they're going to get to know his name real quick because he's my breakout. If I get him on every single fantasy team that I can, just because I think that he's going to be that explosive this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Jen Wright says Kelce looks a little pudgy. Travis Kelce looks a lot pudgy right now. He looks like he's been living it up this offseason, man. He looked miserable walking on that field, too. It literally looked like me after smashing Carrabba's last night. You know what I mean? Just walking around the house like, oh, God, miserable. So, yeah, that's been a big talking point for sure. And then, of course, Chiefs fans are pissed off that Patrick Mahomes is out there doing everything right now, right? Because he's coming fresh off the ACL. They're like, please don't let him practice. And he's out there running around doing 360s and stuff. So, Chiefs fans are all to hell right now. That's hilarious. I just still can't believe that they got obviously Kenneth Walker. I think that's going to be a huge addition for them in the backfield for sure. Yeah,
sneaky thing that they got too is his backups, that Emmett Johnson, who we liked, and I think that could be a sneaky good 1-2 punch up there. And then I forgot Pacheco went to Detroit, so interesting.
Got it. Yeah. All right. So moving along here, Marcus Eversole, 3 picks, 1 play, showing Javon, Bullard, Xavier McKinney, and Keisean Nixon out there. That's kind of a good example of what I'm talking about here. Can I? God, I hate to do this, Jacob. God, I hate to do it.
Oh boy,
here we go. Watch this drill. Now, Coach Lynn's in the chat. Coach, would this piss you off? That's the first time I've seen this clip. You guys see me. I've had this on the screen the whole time we scrolled up. We've seen it for the first time to get it. This drill is 3 DBs at the same time. They're dropping back, picking the pass off. The rule of the drill is catch the pass, flip your hips, and get upfield. Return the interception. You understand what I'm saying, Jacob?
Yeah.
Now, as I hit play here, notice one player does something different than the other two. On one side, you got Javon Bullard, and you got former All-Pro Xavier McKinney. All right. Now, watch this, Jacob. Look at this video right here. All right. You see him flip, pick the pass off. Look at Xavier McKinney, tuck, go, and look who's just kind of He's doing it to himself. This is why fans don't like you. This is it. Like watch Javon Bullard pivot, go, get back upfield. Right. That's how and get ready for the next drill. And he just kind of those on the pod. It's Keisean just kind of me go. Ooh, look at me. Yeah, I look cool. Got my bands on. I'm good to go. You kidding me? In the meantime, you got Xavier McKinney, who has every reason to do what Keisean just did.
Right.
Drive back through, get back upfield. Right.
If not more. I mean,
show the young guys. Right. Show the young guys. So again, man, he does it to himself. Ryan Wood with a video here. Today, Tucker Kraft is the net. So once again, they're having Jordan, rather than throw the net, they're throwing to Tucker. Love to see Tucker getting that extra work in here. And Jordan Love looking good, Jake. Look at the footwork.
Oh, yeah.
Boom. Get outside the cone. Let it rip. Right on the money. Yeah. Jay Love's poised for a big year, man. No doubt.
Yep. Coach was talking about that safety drill. He says an EDD drill.
Got it. Okay. First time I've heard it, Coach. I don't know the name of the drills for sure, man. You know way more about that than me.
Coach said, he goes, that would piss me off for sure. Do the drill as designed.
Bingo.
Yeah.
And again, man, it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things, Jacob. It's like when you buy a new car and you never notice that car on the street. As soon as you buy that car, that make, that model, everywhere, right? It's like once he kind of stirred the pot a little bit, it's like I'm trying to critique everything he's doing. I know that's not fair to me. I need to just stop it. But it just
he shined the spotlight on himself.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now he's wondering why is the spotlight following me? Because you
did
went on stage and went, hey, light guy.
Yeah. Look at me. I'm going to make an ass out of myself. Yeah, again, Jordan Love to Tucker Kraft here, man, looking good. Both guys looking healthy. Here we go. Wes Hikowitz with a little bit of information on the offensive line. Jacob Donovan Jennings opens at left guard today. Cisse is opposite of Nixon. It's early. It's really, really early in camp, but it's starting to feel like, Jacob, it's going to be Keisean Nixon on one side, Brandon Cisse on the other. I imagine the way it's going to line up is from the defense's perspective, Keisean will be the left cornerback and Brandon Cisse will be the right cornerback. And as you guys know, in this defense, most of the time, a large majority of the time, they're not going to follow receivers, right? You're going to just line up in your spot and understand all of your zone match and man match principles that you got to perform underneath Jonathan Gannon's tutelage there. So what do you think about that, man? Do you feel the same way? Do you feel like it is Brandon Cisse opposite Keisean as we sit right now?
I do. I like what Ed Adams saying. He says, I hope Cisse and St-Juste look better. If they look better, then they start them. We've talked about that multiple times on this pod. We just want the best guys out there. Andy Mundy goes on to say, be careful, Key. You might just get what you ask for. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting right now. And, we haven't even started hearing. If guys like Damani Jackson, if they had any sorts of highlights or anything like that. I mean, I don't think Kamal's out there yet, right? Obviously, CV's dealing with the injury, but there's a lot of talent in this room where I feel like we just have to if I was in that, room competing against him, I wouldn't be lollygagging. I'll just say that. Steph goes on to say, what is CC Island? I keep hearing that. I don't know if we're ready to Cisse Island. I don't think I'm ready to give him his own island yet, but
yeah, not yet. If that's a serious question, Steph, I don't know if you're joking or not, but if you aren't, there used to be Revis Island, Darrell Revis. They would call it Revis Island, meaning he would follow the number one receiver everywhere, and they would say, man, if you're stuck on Revis Island, you're screwed, right? You're not catching a pass that day. So I think there are some fans that are already saying Cisse Island, but I'm with you, Jacob. We pump the brakes. This guy's a rookie. We're not ready to give him his own island yet. So, and I don't want anybody to have an island. You guys know how I believe in defense, and it's been the last several coordinators obviously agree. I don't want to tip my hand and play man coverage. I hate man coverage. You guys know me. I despise it. We've shown time and time again the most explosive plays the Packers defense has given up over the last three coordinators were stuck in man coverage, and it's just it makes you more susceptible to the run. Very, very weak against the run, and then on top of that, you can get beat over the top, and you're on an island essentially. So I would much rather have bracket coverage, playing cover 6, cover 4, even cover 3 match. If and then that way you don't know what you're going to cover until they put out their actual route concept, their passing concept, the route combination, I should say. So therefore they don't know what you're going to do because you don't even know what you're going to do yet, right? If it's just, okay, I'm playing man coverage, you can get your ass handed to you for sure. Christopher Cooper in the chat with 750 joules. Let him cook. Let Jordan Love cook. Appreciate you, Christopher. Thank you so much for the support, buddy.
And look who this is, Clay. Emilio. I remember a guy like that. Just hit that like and sub. Y'all, 250, only 73 likes. Come on, let's get that 10K subs. We do need that. And there's almost 500 total watching if you include all platforms. So yeah, if you could just hit that like, and if everybody in the chat could just say Emilio, that's how.
At the same time, 1, 2, 3. Emilio's out there on his 3.5-hour lunch break too. If anybody's wondering, funny how that works, right? Let me go ahead and refresh the page here, see if we got any other updates coming in.
Cannolis in his lunchbox, I tell you what.
Exactly. Let's see here. So some people were posting, videos of the same thing here, and that's okay. We'll Rob Demoski, as promised, Tucker Kraft in full pads. Actually, that's a different play, I believe. And he won't be doing anything live yet. He's getting extra work with Love and the quarterbacks, so you love to see that. Marcus Eversole, Packers in team. Love to Golden off play action over the middle for a first down. Cisse blitzed on that play. So a little backside bandit for you. Toss left to Marshawn Lloyd for a nice gain. Let's go. So damn quick is what Marcus Eversole said about Marshawn Lloyd. Jordan Morgan out in front with a nice block. So there you go, man. Nice little positive. Jordan Morgan getting out there, lead blocking for Marshawn Lloyd. So far, so good on Marshawn Lloyd. Jacob, sounds like he's healthy this year, man.
He's been a pleasant surprise. Again, knock on wood, I don't want to jinx that whatsoever. It sounds like that finally he's starting to put this together, because I've heard the same thing, that a lot of people are impressed by, I mean, he's very thick, but still by being lean and quick and very able to make those cuts. I'm very, very excited about the progression that he could take this team, because if we got a couple, that 1-2 punch, man, we don't want to have Jacobs, having to play on a freaking broken knee every single week and him just gutting it out. And if we can spell him a little bit more and have that kind of change of pace back, I think that there's going to be another little wrinkle that the defenses are going to have to deal with in this offense. While you're looking up some stuff, Andy Monday brought up a great point when we were talking about Tuck. He said Tuck had 50 catches, 700 yards, and 7 tuds in 2024. He was good even then. I agree. If he would have stayed on pace and stayed healthy last year, guys, he would have been the best tight end in the league. People would have been putting a little more respect on his name, I tell you what.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Soder in the chat. Don't jinx the Lloyd vibe, Clayton. I don't believe in jinxes, sir. A real man makes his own luck. Billy Zane, Titanic. So,
you just got a Billy Zane quote in.
That's right, baby. That's what you get here on PTA, and the viewers just dropped. All right. So good coverage by the defense here. Love has to eat it. Yeah, Brandon Cisse with late pressure, so it sounds like they are blitzing him off the edge quite a bit there. Jagger Burton in team with the 2s at left guard, says Wes Hodkowitz,
Nice.
Which, by the way, Wes Hodkowitz, man, him doing his training camp articles after each practice, if you guys are not following those, they're phenomenal, man. Just Wes Hodkowitz, one of my favorite guys covering the Packers. Jagger Burton in team with the 2s at left guard. So it sounds like they took a step back, right? They're letting Donovan Jennings get his shot at left guard today. Let's see how quick Jagger Burton can work back from that hammy and get back up there running with the 1s while Aaron Banks is having a maintenance day. So Jagger Burton, man, to me, it's early, but I feel like right now he's got to be your backup swing guard, right? I mean, do you feel like that too, or do you think maybe the buzz out of OTAs and mandatory minicamp maybe misled us a little bit? What do you think, man?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it might just been that he missed a little bit of time, and coaches kind of just rewarding guys that have had a little more, grit, being able to kind of just go out there. And I like Donovan Jennings. I think the John Williams thing is interesting to keep an eye on. Guys that actually have a little bit higher draft capital that we spent on them, just giving them a shot. I like that. This is the time of year to do it. Filter in and out these guys and see if they've made this type of progression. We always talk about how we don't really just want him. We don't want to slate this guy in because we've either paid him this much or we drafted him at this point. I want to see them literally put the best 11 out there at any time, especially on the offensive line where we know we could use some improvement, some more stability. I don't care who it is, as long as it's not Glover. No, I would love it. If it's Glover, I would be over the moon. And I know you guys know who else would. He's listening right here on his 5-hour lunch break. He clarified that in the chat. It's not just a 4-hour, a 3-hour. It's a 5-hour, Clay.
There you go. Well, we appreciate the honesty there. And Andy Monday said, I got a sinking feeling about that Billy Zane quote.
Oh, no.
I see what you did there.
I see what you did as well.
Love it. All right, let's see what else we got here. Rob Demoski kind of reaffirming what Wes Hodkowitz said there. Rookie Jagger Burton's back doing team with an opening day hamstring injury. He's at left guard with the number 2 line. Ryan Wood tweeted out Jordan Morgan with a great kick-out block versus Brandon Cisse, who, again, is getting rep with the 1s. All right. Morgan reaches Cisse on a perimeter, leading Marshawn Lloyd on the toss. That's a play we were mentioning a while ago. A little bit of this will be redundant, but we'll get in a little more detail out of each tweet. Overpowered the rookie corner 1-on-1 versus 1, which is expected, but good footwork to square him up in space, showed his athleticism. So, again, this is something that Joe Thomas was talking about, first ballot Hall of Famer, former offensive lineman for the Cleveland Browns and Wisconsin Badgers, of course, was talking about everything about Jordan Morgan's footwork. His technique was just phenomenal when he worked with him a couple weeks ago, or whenever it was. I think it was during OTAs or mandatory minicamp. So you see that, and of course he's going to overpower a corner out there, right? But I love that Ryan Wood mentioned that because it's so tough for those big guys to get squared up and actually block a cornerback, right? Because a cornerback can just one jab step, dip, and twitch their way right out of the block, right? So Jordan Morgan, everything I'm hearing so far, Jacob, I think he's going to be a significant upgrade over Rasheed Walker. That's me personally. I could be wrong. I really do believe he's going to play better than Rasheed Walker. I think you'll have far fewer penalties this year than you have with Rasheed Walker, and I think you'll get a little bit better run blocker at left tackle as well. So Jordan Morgan making a few waves here early on for sure. And here we got Sleeper Packers with a video. They tweeted out a Tucker getting a little bit of work. Says confirmed the Yak King in pads to participate in position individual drills. So here you see a shot of Tucker Kraft making a little, look like a little corner route maybe. Actually, no, just scraping across there, right? So probably the equivalent of an out, I guess you could say, doing a little toe drag swag there in the end zone. But
Nice.
looking good.
Yeah, I'm so excited about Tuck.
Yeah, he's looking yoked up too, man. Looking good. Mike Spofford, the number 1 O-line, same as it's been. Banks sitting out practice today. Here's the name. I'm gonna say how I would say it, all right? Bako Bewele. Does that sound right? Or would it be Bewele? Would it be Bewele? Bewele. We're probably disrespecting his family. It's so bad.
You got to get one of those pronunciation,
Yeah. So we're going to call him Z-Bach, all right? So Z-Bach not doing team drills yet, okay? So they're still holding him out, obviously, until he's ready to go 100%. Cisse in for Valentine with the hammy on number 1 defense and a few plays in. He gets the love on the blitz, what we talked about. Love to Golden on a comeback, starts it out. Lloyd gets the edge on the pitch. Bullard working some deep safety with the 2. So obviously good stuff there. Looks like something got retweeted by Justice Moscato. Something about the Cardinals.
Jen's helping us out. Bawele.
Got it. All right. So moving along here, Wes Hockwitz, Van Ness off the weak side just blows up the play, forcing Love to scramble. We keep hearing Van Ness's name this year, man. We keep hearing it during training camp. I'm telling you, all the data, all the analytics are pointing to he's going to have a phenomenal year this year if he stays healthy, and it seems like he's showing up in camp so far. Mike Spofford says, always hard to tell without live tackling, but first day in pads is producing some good work with the running game. So it sounds like the running game getting going there. And then, of course, here we've got a clip. Who is this we got a clip of here? Does it say, welcome to day? This is Wes Hockwitz. Welcome to day 5 of Packers training camp. Return to practice. Brant Banks, offensive tackle with a hammy. He's back, not practicing. Carrington Valentine, tight end RJ Maryland, can't make the club in the tub. And guard Aaron Banks, who we know will be on the roster. They're resting him and trying to keep him fresh. The reserve list is still edge defender Micah Parsons with the knee, Luke Musgrave with the neck, long snapper Matt Orzik with the calf, defensive tackle Javon Hargrave with the knee, running back Chris Brooks with the hammy, defensive tackle Jordan Riley with the Achilles. Are you starting to get a little bit concerned about Javon Hargrave, Jacob? I know I'm not going to BS you, man. I'm starting to go, is this something that's going to linger into the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously not great when he's out there, but I think it just hopefully is more preventative than anything. He's a vet. I don't think necessarily Gannon is worried, because maybe that's the whole thing, is Gannon knows what he can do, what he can bring to the table, and he just doesn't want to stress the body or whatever that injury may be. Is it something that it's going to be on the back of my mind now? Yeah, for sure. But I am pretty excited to see that we could get a few of these younger guys into that rotation. Obviously, McClellan. I think there's a couple that have shown some spurts, although one of them was Jordan Riley, who's clearly not ready yet. But I'm not too worried about it yet. We mentioned yesterday about Anthony Campbell. That's one that I'd like to see get a little more time, a little more reps. But it's definitely something I think we should keep an eye on.
Yeah, Coach Lynn says he's a vet, not worried yet. There you go. Love it. Again, if it was a young player needing the reps, you feel a little different. I agree with that, Coach. So this is Sky Moore returning a punt. And I'll tell you, the thing I've noticed about Sky Moore, based off comparatively speaking to last year, it looks like he has thickened up a little bit. To me, he looks more like a running back than a small receiver now, Jacob. Do you see that the same way? Let's watch his footwork here. He gets a little bit tripped up, obviously, but still good contact balance. I think our return game is going to be a lot better with Sky Moore this year, man.
Yeah, that's like you said, he does look more kind of like a running back. But I mean, what was his measurements? I think he was only like 5'10", 5'11", something like that. But he looks a little more
shorter than that. I could be wrong, but yeah, he's always been kind of thin and short. This to me looks like he's a little bit stalkier. But again, this was a guy that was a top 10 kick returner, top 10 punt returner last year in terms of, I believe it was yards per punt return, per kick return, right? Which you guys know we put a lot more stock into that than overall total yardage. So again, Sky Moore, I think, is going to be an improvement for special teams for us.
I got him listed at 5'10", 195. So he's a thick bowl of oatmeal.
There you go. All right, if you guys would do me a big favor, hit that like button. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We're just going through all the updates there in Green Bay, showing you some footage when people post videos and whatnot. But this has become kind of a tradition here at PTA. Every training camp, when we get a chance, we will go live during the practices, get you guys all the information in real time. But really, really appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Marcus Eversole tweeted out, Lukas Van Ness beat Kennard off the left edge, right tackle, okay, for a sack. So LVN rushing off the left edge, beating Darian Kennard, who's in for Zack Zebach. All right. Although Love gets out of that poopy a lot, at least a pressure was counted there. So that is true, man. There's nothing that Jordan's better at than just he'll fade back, step up, and out to the right, and just watch the edge rusher go right by him, right? So Love with a dot to Watson over the middle between Franklin and the safety. Pretty play, gain of 20-plus yards. So there you go, Jordan Love with a dot to Christian Watson. And again, Love, that's kind of that one of those tweeners, Jacob, underneath the safety and over top of Zaire Franklin. So, and that's not Z's strength, right? We've talked about that. So Jordan Love to Watson, man. Hope we hear that a lot this year for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, the funnest part about going into the season with no real expectations is that I have expectations for everyone. So, I mean, I look for a guy like Christian Watson to absolutely become a household name, because a lot of people have been crapping on this guy since he got in the league. And I always go back to that first bomb that Rodgers put him right on the dime when he was playing Minnesota. If he catches that ball, the whole narrative about Christian Watson is completely changed. I believe that to my soul. And people, he's worked so hard, then the injuries come, and he's had to overcome that adversity. And I think that once he puts together a solid season, a full season, if he can play 15, 16, 17 games, he's going to be a household name. I think that he'll be leading in multiple categories, which he kind of already has. And a lot of people don't give him his flowers in that, but I'm very, very excited to see Christian Watson put everything together. And I think the dynamic between him and Love, obviously without having Rome and Dontavian, is going to be a lot more explosive and a lot more fluent.
His receiving is tough.
It is, Brett.
It is, Brett. Marcus Eversole with the tweet, Dani Dennis-Sutton swallows up Lloyd in the backfield. Absolutely nowhere to go. Still don't know how the F he fell to the fourth round. Completely agree with that, man. That was just mind-boggling. He was sitting there in the fourth. St-Juste came free on a blitz for a sack of Taylor. Play continued, and he threw complete to Sky Moore. So obviously it would have been a sack. They let the play out. And so what you're seeing, man, St-Juste, Brandon Cisse, we've seen Keisean a couple practices ago. Jonathan Gannon dialing up some cat blitzes big time at that cornerback position. So something to keep an eye on there for sure. Moving along here, Mike Spofford says Love play fake to nobody as Jacobs went into pass pro mode, but he connected with Watson on an in-breaker anyway. Watson's speed could have turned that into a big gainer. And then, of course, he mentions the DDS blowing up the play in the backfield as well. So just the play that's the one we watched earlier, right? So that's just being retweeted by Paul Brettel there. Here we go, Ryan Wood. This is probably from earlier as well. That's Cam Azir retweeting that out. Let's see what this is. Matt Schneidman tweeted out about an hour ago. Matt LaFleur said one of the things he's most disappointed with so far in camp is how close pass rushers have gotten to the quarterback. Emphasized in team meeting this morning that nobody should be sniffing the quarterback, no reaching for the ball when the quarterback has it. So Matt protecting QB1 out there, Jacob, like, hey, can we please calm down here? Because that's the last thing we need is obviously somebody getting too close and then Jordan Jab stepping out of there and then banging a knee or something, that would just be, oh my gosh. So I love that Matt LaFleur is keeping his eye on that situation there.
Yeah, and it's one of those double-edged swords. It's like these young guys, they want to go hard and they want to show that they've got what it takes, and then they have to learn how to pull up at the last second. Let's maybe not make it the last second. Let's maybe make it like 2 seconds and then just completely, if you have to, literally dive out of the way.
Yes.
Just so you don't even come. And I'm not even joking. Like, just completely avoid any kind of collision whatsoever. We've seen it in the NFL year in and year out that, like you said, Clay, just like knocking your knees together the wrong way or whatever, just stepping on their foot. You know what I mean? Having a turf toe situation or a broken toe could lead to weeks and weeks of lingering issues. And then, that's a great way to get yourself not on the 53 or the practice squad. If you go there,
it's also a great way to
do that. You're going to get your ass kicked in that.
That's right. Well, I tell you, you want to be the most hated person on this team. Go out there and hurt QB1 in practice when they say stay away from the QB. I promise you, somebody's getting their head smoked if that happens.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. So this is cool. Ryan Wood tweeted out Christian Watson just beat Keisean Nixon on a slant from the right side. Jordan Love hits him in stride for about 35 yards, hit him in stride, and he's going a long way. So there's Christian Watson picking on Keisean Nixon a little bit there in practice with the slant. And then let's see what else here. Wes Hockowitz says Golden and Watson have motion in the middle of the field during first team period. And he quote tweeted Mike Spofford that said third down, comeback route to Golden works again, as does an in-breaker to Watson, but defense wins out to Moore and seam to Melton, both incomplete. So it sounds like they win the actual the out there. So
This guy.
Emilio with the what is that from? The Replacements, right? Red means stop, like street light, right? That's right. I got you the ball. You got me the ball. I got you the ball. Go sit down. What was his name, Amelia? You remember his name, Jacob? What was that guy's name? The guy who played he was the cop that was ended up being the linebacker. Always reminded me of Teddy Bruschi in the movie, to be honest with you, man. It's like
he's a famous, oh God, what's his name? He's a famous director too now, which is funny.
Real big friends with
Danny.
Danny, that's it. Go sit down, Danny. God, I love it. Love it.
Oh, it's so good.
All right, so moving along here. A couple participation notes. We may already have this information. We'll hit it anyway. Rob Demoski tweeted out. Offensive tackle Brant Banks with the hamstring has returned. New DMPs, Carrington Valentine, RJ Maryland, and Aaron Banks, which we did hit all that. So we're all up to date. There, you got anything in the chat you want to hit, Jacob? We pretty much caught up there, man.
Yeah, we could here. Just a little bit of highlight, just because the Lions fan gives us a lot of love. We were talking about how some of our guys look a little thicker this year. Mm-hmm. He says that J-Mo looks like he's his number one in camp because he's been insane and he's added 10 pounds of muscle. That was my biggest thing about him, was that he was so frail. And he felt like that's why he couldn't put some stuff together. But honestly, that kind of worries me because he's always had the talent, man. He is an absolute beast. So, and you got a great 1-2 there for sure. Steph loves Green Bay, says, I'm a little worried when I go to the Packers-Bears game, more about the fans in the stands. I've never been to a Bears game, but if I had to guess, this year they're going to be a little more angry and a little more, let's say,
Scared money don't make money.
I don't want to cuss, but have you ever been to Soldier Field, Clay?
I have not. I have no desire. I've heard it's a dump. I've heard it's one of the worst places to watch a football game. I've heard
you can't get in and out of the stadium. Basically, it takes you forever.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
I don't know, man. I have no desire to go to a game there. I want to get up to Notre Dame, and obviously that's fairly close to Chicago, South Bend, not too far away. But everybody I've ever met that went to a Bears game, even Bears fans. I've got Bears fans that are friends that live in Chicago. We got family that live in Chicago, and they're like, it's the worst going to a Bears game. The traffic in and out. It's a horrible place to watch the game. So it's the thing, like building a new stadium and all that, it makes sense. The fact that they're going to a dome, I've lost any little bit of respect I have for that organization that they got to play inside now. So
yeah. Let's see, one more here from Blaze Knight says Love and Golden have an on-point all camp. Man, they are continuing to show that today. That's pretty. I agree with it. I'm just so excited. Speaking of a good organization, Dark City 2004 says he's going to training camp on the 10th and the 11th. Can't wait. That's going to be awesome, man.
Yeah, good stuff.
That's going to be awesome.
Good stuff. Sleeper Packers tweeted out, oh, look, it's future all-pro linebacker Edgerrin Cooper. So here's a nice little shot Sleeper Packers putting out there. Coop looking good, right? Looking solid. Trying to see who else is in the shot there. We got Nyman back there. Seen Christian Welch in the fold. You see the DBs in the background. All right. Good crowd out there, too. And you can see, man, just judging by some of the flags that are a little bit better mounted, but you don't see like any crazy wind for sure. So I'm excited to see what Trey Smack does. What do you think about Edgerrin Cooper this year, Jake? You think he's going to have a big year, man?
I really do. I think the addition of Zaire Franklin is going to unlock him. The fact that he doesn't have to do so much mental stuff pre-snap. I think Halfley used to always talk about we don't want these guys thinking, we want them reacting and playing. I think that's going to be a lot of what's going to help him have an absolute stud year. If he stays healthy, I'm talking Pro Bowl, maybe all pro. I think that the way that you're going to possibly, like Gannon's going to use him on the edge, like to your point, having a little more pressure percentage. You know, I see him getting more sacks, which I know is a lot of flashy for the Pro Bowl stuff, but I think he's going to be an absolute stud. He seems just so athletically fluid. And if you can get a guy like Zaire just completely locking down the middle of that field, I think a guy like Edge is going to absolute flourish, and forgive the pun, but Edge on the edge to me is, I think, another reason as to why we didn't go out and maybe get a Clowney or something like that. And plus the younger players, obviously we just mentioned with DDS and my boy Cox and a lot of those younger guys. I'm excited to see him flourish.
Just combing through some of the other news around the league. If you guys would do me a big favor, man, smash that like button. Let's see if we can get to an all-time high here in likes. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us as we're about to crack 500 live here. So Pro Football Talk tweeted out the Broncos have, quote, frustration with the slow process of getting their new stadium built. So obviously they're going to have a new stadium out there in Denver. That's another one going to a dome. Used to be one of the great cold weather stadiums. So no more snow flying out there. Absolutely horrible.
That's crazy.
Sleeper Vikings tweeted out, and this is a quote, all right, from Adrian Peterson on J.J. McCarthy's chance of winning the Vikings QB1 job, okay? Quote, in my eyes, based on what I've seen from J.J., it would definitely be a surprise. That's not to take anything away from J.J. I feel like he's still a young quarterback. He's only been around 2 or 3 years, and he was injured the first year, but I feel like he has a lot of growing to do. That was Adrian Peterson on J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy catching strays, and you could tell AP trying to be nice there, man.
Right.
Boy, they swung and missed on that quarterback pick, did they not, Jacob? I mean, you're up there in Vikings land. You're right on the border, right? What do you think about J.J. McCarthy? Or am I missing something? Maybe the fans up there absolutely love him.
No. Most of the fan base that I know has completely given up on him, and they've moved on to the little man, Mr. Kyler. And I thought that from the start, McCarthy was at best a draft and develop guy. Of course, the Vikings grab him. They're like, well, let's just throw him in, especially after they got rid of Darnold. They got rid of Cousins. I mean, it's an odd organization, man. They have went so long without having to find a really, really good staple there at the quarterback position since the years of like your Dante Culpepper. And I mean, they went through so many different draft picks, and they'd last for a year, 2, 3. And then I don't know what they did when they had Cousins. Like I said, they had Darnold. Even on their backup squad, they had some guys that I thought deserved to have a shot over a guy like JJ, but they just said, let's throw him to the Wolves. And the Wolves ate, boy. They ate. K9.
They good. They ate real good.
I got some advice for y'all. Take 2 weeks off, then quit.
Yeah, when he kind of blew up there in week 3 or 4, and then he had the whole 9 moment. Yeah, there it is. Thank you, Jacob. Perfect timing. Like, there's no coming back from that. There isn't. Like you can't go out there and act like you're the next coming of a Tom Brady or somebody, and then fall flat on your face. Like, this is why it's important to not get too high, not get too low. You hear me, Emilio? Don't get too high and don't get too low. What were you going to say?
You got to keep yourself professional, like a guy that's from Chicago. You know what I mean? Like, you really got to make it. You got to be professional.
There's so much to that picture. Of all the things in that pic that gets me, though, it's the pinky. Flash it up there one more time, just real quick. Don't keep it up too long. But look at the pinky. Notice the pinky. The pinky gets me every time. All right, get it off the screen. Unbelievable. All right, so again, Edgerrin Cooper out there doing things. Wes Heikwitz, non-shooting period, but DBs and linebackers working jugs machines. Assistants using a blocking pad to disrupt the catch. So that, again, emphasis. This is Bobby Babich 101, putting emphasis on the DBs and the linebackers taking the ball away. You've seen the clip we showed earlier, Javon Bullard punching the ball out. And obviously they're working on the jugs machines and whatnot, trying to get those interceptions. Turnover differential is going to be huge this year, Jacob. Turnover differential and time of possession going to be a big, big factor in how the Packers perform this year. And I've got them somewhere between 11 to 14 wins, barring any crazy injuries. If we get injuries like we did last year, 9 wins is back on the table, guys. I hate to say it, right? There's not a team in the league that can deal with that many injuries and go on to win 11 or 12 games. But I've kind of got, if everybody stays relatively healthy, you're going to have injuries. But I'm talking about 6, 7, 8 starters out. If you don't have to deal with that, I'm thinking 11 to 14 wins is what I see with the Packers, man. What do you think early on? How do you feel about that in terms of what their record may be? And I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'll throw it up there. Just a quick reference if you need it for the schedule. What do you think, man?
I think that I felt comfortable with 10 to 12 wins easy. I shouldn't say easy, but I think that to your point, barring the injury, I think we finished when we did our little exercise, wasn't it? Somewhere between 11 and 14, confidently, we could kind of say.
It seemed like everybody fell in that range, yeah.
I think 11 to 14 wins confidently, as long as we have our key components in place, and I really mean confidently. It wouldn't be surprising to me if we get more towards that 14 mark, but we play in a tough division. There's no doubt about it, and we have some pretty interesting matchups this year. But Jen saying 12 plus, I honestly could really see that. I'm usually more of the conservative guy. I know Tim likes to go out there, and he's 16, 17 and 0, baby. That's what we're doing. We're the Dolphins. I'm a little more hesitant, but with just all the things that we've put in place, and the guys coming back off injury, the continuity, the year 1 to year 2, the year 2 to year 3 progression from these guys, the young talent that is now becoming vets. I think that that window is just so wide open for me in the next year to 2 years. I'm comfortable going over 12 or more.
Got it. We got some updates rolling in. Here we go. Marcus Eversole, Packers in team. And again, some of this might be a little bit redundant. We're going to read them all in case there's extra detail with different tweets. Marcus Eversole, Packers in team. Love the golden off play action over the middle for a first down. Cisse blitzed. Toss left to Marshawn Lloyd for a nice gain. So damn quick. We talked about that earlier, right? So we hit that tweet earlier. Here was a reply to that. Quick hitter to Golden on the left. Quick to Golden over the middle. Xavier McKinney diving interception. Looked like Love just overthrew Reed a little. Great play by X with the eyeball emoji. So Xavier McKinney. Imagine if Xavier McKinney goes back to, what do you have, like 9 or 10 interceptions that first year in Green Bay? What if he gets 7? What if he gets 7 or 8, That'd
be great. I remember watching back some highlights that I just saw on the interwebs last night. X had an interception in his first, 7 or 8 games that he came to Green Bay. And I was just, thank you, New York. I don't know what you did that for, but thank you. Appreciate it.
As soon as the Giants basically said, we don't need Xavier McKinney, this was me. I was just like, what do you mean you don't need an elite all-pro post safety? Like, how bad is your organization that you let him and Saquon Barkley both walk? That's just unbelievable to me, man. So, and I believe that is, J. Cole says that Love's first pick. It's the first one I've heard, first interception he's thrown. And again, I want to be very clear. I don't mind interceptions in camp. This is the time to throw them. Stretch it. Really try to push the limits and see what you can get away with, right? This is the time to do that. But I think J. Cole's right. I believe that was the first interception we've seen. Yeah, here we go. Wes Hocklitz. Love throws his first INT of camp, selling one pass read and into the arms of Xavier McKinney. So everybody just kind of reiterating that. Pretty sideline ball from Tyrod Taylor connects with Melton, who gets his feet in versus Simpson. So hold up a minute. Jordan Love throws an interception, and Tyrod Taylor throws a great pass. Do we have a quarterback controversy going on here? Dun, dun, dun. There will be somebody going, I don't know. I think Tyrod Taylor might be better. It'll happen. Ryan Wood tweets out, Bo Melton beats Jalen Simpson on a fade down the right sideline, and Tyrod Taylor drops it perfectly over the shoulder for 28 yards. So a bad rep for Jalen Simpson there on the surface. And we've been kind of talking about Jalen Simpson and Jonathan Baldwin. I've got Jonathan Baldwin penciled in as the 4th safety on this team, Jacob. I'm feeling a little bit better about that. It kind of feels like if you do carry 5 safeties, let's say you only carry 4 because last year maybe they counted Javon Bullard as a safety when we know he's really a slot corner, and they've announced this year that's what he's going to be doing full-time. I feel like Jonathan Baldwin is ahead of Mark Perry, Jalen Simpson, and Mervyn Kenyon, and especially here you see Jalen Simpson with a bad rep.
I think that's fair to say, too. I've heard nothing but good things about Baldwin. It seems like he's another one of those kind of unsung heroes there that's been taking the progress. I don't know how you guys feel like in the chat, but what's your thoughts on Keisean Oladapo? Are you nervous that we haven't heard much from him really at all? And is he considered a bust, or is he more just that kind of quiet special teams guy? I don't know what your thoughts are, if you got any on Keisean.
I would rather not hear about him than hear him getting beat, right? Sometimes no news is good news, but I'm with you. I haven't heard anything about Oladapo. So you'd like to hear that he's, making a play here or batting a pass down there. I know he got minimal snaps last year, but when he was in the game, I never felt like, he looks lost out there. He looked like he belonged. Looked big for a safety, right? Looked like he had the size and the athleticism to play at that level. I think it's just such a good thing that you don't have to worry. You don't hear about him much because you got Evan Williams and you got Xavier McKinney, out there doing what they do and doing it at a high level for sure.
Yeah, I didn't realize he had limited snaps for sure, but in 2024, his rookie year, 72.9. Wow. I mean, let's go. Like you said,
Marcus Eversole tweet. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Adam Block was asking where the music was. I don't know if we even have that anymore, but I don't want to get the copyright straight.
Oh yeah, we probably do still have it, but we got to be careful, man. The channel's getting to the point now where it's a lot of eyeballs. We had a couple people complain too, so it's funny how that works, man. Everybody. how do I say this in the right way? Everybody roots you on until you get a little bit of success, and all of a sudden people start going, well, is he allowed to do that? Are they allowed to do that? Yeah. I got good lawyers. We'll do what we want, man. We'll have fun. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So I don't know. That frustrates me. That same thing happened to Baz a couple years ago, where some of the other content creators went at him a little bit and trying to get his stream taken. It's just like, God almighty, you guys are pathetic. Play kissy face up front, boy. If you ever meet them, outside of Lambeau or out there at Titletown, it's, oh, how you doing? And then later on you find out, oh, you mother. Okay. Yeah. So, again, man, we always try to root everybody on, support everybody on. And my biggest pet peeve are content creators who act like they know more than the fans. It's like, bro, you're not as important as you think you are. Like, no one is. Let's how about we all be fans, have a good time, talk ball, rather than trying to talk down to people and talk, well, technically you got that wrong. So drives me crazy. Wes Hockwitz says Bo Melton with a spectacular catch in front of us for around 30 yards, tight coverage by Simpson, but Taylor just snuck it in. I'm wondering if this is the same one. I bet it is, because Marcus Eversole said about 40. So, yeah, 30 to 40 yards. So, again, Bo Melton, he's one. I don't want to say I write him off every year, Jacob, but there's a chance that Bo Melton could take a big step forward this year, man, especially now that he's predominantly playing wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is last year, talk about a guy that's unselfish, that's just willing to do whatever he has to do for the team. Never once heard him complain. Never once saw him put his head down. He just kind of said, all right, I'll do whatever you need me to do. I forget how freaking fast he is. I mean, he's getting a little bit up there. He's 27. I mean, I wish I was 27 again. 5'11", 189. I forgot he was a Rutgers guy. That's pretty cool. Big Ten boy. He's, like Coach is saying, he's in a battle, but I think that he is so versatile. And I don't know, if you had to pick right now, Clay, you can only take one, Sky Moore or Bo. Who's going to round out your wide receiver room if those are the only two
tough,
you can?
Man.
I know.
Now here, I want to say this, Coach, and I understand your question. I'm going to answer it. I promise. You say you got to choose one. I personally don't think we have to choose one. Last year we broke camp with 6. I think Sky Moore and Bo Melton will both be on the roster. Okay. But if I had to choose one or the other, Sky Moore, much better kick returner. Bo Melton doesn't even return kicks to the best of my knowledge, right? Sky Moore improves your return game, right? I think he's also a better F receiver than Bo Melton is. However, Bo Melton is arguably your best special teams player. And we know, Jacob, the second that we cut Bo Melton and the special teams take a dip, we're going to be all over the special teams again. Like, this is horrible. It happens every year. So that's a great question by Coach. Again, I don't think we have to decide, but if I had to, one of those two can play F at a high level, not a high level, but a good level, I guess you could say, and he can contribute on special teams as a returner. The other one, I feel like his main strength is special teams all around. I would have to go with Sky Moore over Bo Melton, and I hate that because Bo Melton is one of my favorite Green Bay Packers, just a stand-up dude.
Cheese curds make my stomach hurt all the time, but I do eat them, though.
What would your answer be there, Jake?
I would go Bo, just because I like Sky Moore and what he brings to that, but I feel like we have a couple younger guys that could probably do some return game stuff, and I just haven't seen a lot out of Sky. That's what I was kind of hoping. I was going to mention Savion. That's a good point. Maybe even some of the younger D-backs that are trying to make this squad. And then I just looked it up. Sky Moore, he's only about a year and 3 months younger than Bo. I thought Bo was a lot older than he was, but Sky Moore's been in the league a little bit. And, man, I forgot that Bo Melton coming onto the scene his rookie year was an 83.4. He had limited snaps, but, I mean, he's shown that he can play at a very high level. Coach goes on to say real quick, Isaiah Nair and JMS are no joke. I completely agree. And that just means we're going to have an absolute deep practice squad, so I'm excited.
And Tony Holman makes a great point here, too. Melton is our utility player. Right. We've seen it time and time again. He went off against the Vikings on New Year's Eve a few years ago. That was like the first time we were like, who is this kid, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, again, like Steph in here, unspecial teams, right? LOL. So, yeah, we have had unspecial teams in the past. Wes Hockwitz says Shepard up slowly after last team snap. He jogged off. So, he did jog off, but still sounded like he got a little banged up. Mike Spofford.
Sorry, Tim.
What happened?
That's Tim's guy.
Oh, it is Tim's guy. You're right. Yeah. Mike Spofford tweets out defensive lineman Anthony Campbell, who had used his 6'6" frame to bat down a few passes at the line in camp, can move his 300 pounds too. He just chased Taylor out of the pocket to force a throwaway. So Anthony Campbell making a few waves there. Since we're on the topic, as I look here off screen on the defensive tackle room, we broke camp with 6 last year. I think the 6 as it sits right now will be Javon Hargrave, Devontae White, Chris McClellan, Warren Brinson, Carl Brooks, and Nas Stackhouse. Anthony Campbell, Jordan Riley, Jonathan Ford, and Jaden Crimity is left. Anthony Campbell's might be the leading candidate so far early in camp to be the next one in line if one of those guys end up on PUP or something. So another name to keep an eye on there with Anthony Campbell. Wes Hawkowitz, good snag on the sideline off a one hop by a Priest to end team. What does that mean? We got priests on the field now? What's going on? I don't know if it was a religious program. What are we doing? Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's a joke and I don't get it. Wes Hawkowitz, I promise you, is way smarter than I am. So there probably is a little bit of humor in there. Rob Demoski, he caught it. Look, Rob Demoski quote tweeted him, good snag on the sideline off of one hop by a Priest to end team. And Rob Demoski said, doing the Lord's work. So there you go. All right, here we go. We got Trey Smack. Oh, no, Jacob. Oh, no. Y'all ready for Trey Smack talk? Ready for the kicker talk? Everybody's about to be in an uproar. Emilio's in the chat saying something ridiculous, I'm sure. Let's go ahead. Highlight
Tim's having a rough day today, dude.
Will Shepard went down, and we'll give you the news on Trey Smack in a minute. Go ahead. What did Emilio say, Jake?
He says, when you don't hear about them, you know that they are crushing it, i.e. Glover.
Glover over there smashing Gatorade right now. And Emilio's like, doing a good job. We haven't heard from him. I love it.
That's so funny.
So here's the update, guys. Ryan Wood tweeted out, Trey Smack opens today 2 of 5. Yesterday he was 3 of 5 in the win. Today he was extra point, went wide right. 40 yards out. It was good. 43 wide right. 48 on the left hash was good. 55 in the middle, short and to the right. Minimal wind. Allegedly. Oh, God, here we go. Hold on tight, boys. Somewhere McManus is going, I'm still available. Y'all gave me $1 million to go away. But hold up now. Maybe there's something wrong in the numbers here. Let's cross-check this. Matt Schneidman tweets out Trey Smack goes 3 of 5 again. Wide right from 33 and a mile right from 55. That sounds like me kicking. Good from 40, 43, and 48. Now 6 of 10 in live period during camp. So that number does not match Ryan Woods. One of those is incorrect. So we'll see if we can get to the bottom. Now, I know this. We'll be keeping up with this number right here all camp, right, Jacob? Like, let's see how he finishes camp altogether. So
Emilio's really throwing some shots. Get on your tractor, dude.
Yeah. So here's Rob Demoski saying Trey Smack goes 3 for 5 again. So wide right, good, way wide right. So 6 for 10 so far. So it looks like the real numbers are 3 for 5. So might have just been a typo there from Ryan Wood. Big B tweeted, I miss Mason Crosby so much. Mason Crosby is not walking through that door, B, unfortunately, right? I remember there were people calling for him to be gone. Be careful what you wish for, right? Just might get it. Wes Hawkowitz, Watson nearly pulls down a deep ball over the shoulder with Cisse and Williams in coverage. Cisse, man, having a good camp, boys. Good camp. Let's just not talk about Smack. Never mind. Alec in here says Trey Smack goes 3 of 5 again. So everybody just kind of reiterating it there. And shout out to Alec. I didn't mean to just brush over his tweet. He's a phenomenal follow. You guys go give him a follow on X at ALEC_332. And then we got a video here from Kevin Robinson, my boy Kevin. You guys have got to go follow Kevin, man. Go follow him at _Kev Robinson _. Everybody hearing my voice right now, go onto Twitter, even use your burner accounts, you bunch of trolls, and go give him a follow real quickly. Don't troll Kevin, but follow him with your burner accounts. He says, need to see Edgerrin Cooper in action ASAP, one of the defensive players with the most potential in the league entering his 3rd season. As you see him here working the bag. Let's see if we got a little sound with this. We might have a little sound. Yes, sir. He looks like an animal, Jacob.
Yeah, he does.
Looking like an animal, dude.
God, there's something about listening to that sled hit.
Oh, yeah.
That just lets you know we're back, baby.
And they always get the skinniest white guy to try to hold up.
I know. I feel bad for him.
It's so bad. I'd hate to be the one having to take that hit from Edgerrin Cooper.
I just feel like the sound effect, if we could turn it up and just be
yeah. And if you pause it, you can actually see Emilio over here on the sideline rubbing Travis Glover's shoulder to the side.
Keep sipping that Gatorade, bud.
That's right. The working man's Gatorade. People are like, they hate Travis Glover. We don't hate Travis Glover. Emilio is just obsessed with him. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Alec tweets out, one thing I've been very impressed with throughout camp, Watson and Golden work off each other so well. Reed has been benefiting using wide receiver screens. So, again, Watson and Golden working off each other really well is awesome, dude.
I can't
Absolutely
wait.
awesome. Yeah.
It's just
Especially, I immediately think of this. When I say working off of each other, I immediately think of Golden in the X, Watson in the Z, Reed in the F, right? And them running crossers, right? Crossers with the F and Golden and having a Z post from Watson, and them being able to kind of work off that post and the crosser, that climb with Matthew Golden in conjunction with the post route from Christian Watson gets me excited, man. Silver Fox with 750 joules. Let him cook. Appreciate you, Silver Fox. Thank you for the support, buddy. What else we got in here? Contested deep ball between Watson and Williams falls incomplete on an impressive throw from Love. Reed wide open on a cross, coverage bust, and he takes it the distance. So Jaden Reed taking advantage of a busted coverage there. Matt LaFleur looked over at Jonathan Gannon and gave him a little wink, like, here you go, bub. What you think about that? Put that in your pop and smoke it. So Marcus Eversole tweeted out, Love deep down to the middle. This is the same play. Let's see if there's any more detail. Love deep down the middle to Watson, incomplete. Looked like he made a leaping catch for a second. Cisse and Williams in coverage. Would have been a great contested catch. Sky Moore wide open over the middle, just dropped it. Oh, not good. Marshawn Lloyd toss left, hits it hard for a nice gain. Love to Reed. Wide open on a cross, blown coverage. Pass was about 25 in the air, goes for like a 60-yard touchdown if Cooper didn't sack Love on a blitz. So Cooper getting a little bit of pressure, blown coverage, Reed wide open, goes 60 yards for the tud. And Marshawn Lloyd, once again, we haven't heard one negative thing about Marshawn Lloyd yet, Jay.
That's true. I mean, and that's far and away a complete 180 from what we've heard in the past few seasons. Obviously, it's always been injury riddled, whether or not he's even out on the field, how's the rehab coming, this kind of thing. I'm excited, dude. I'm very happy for the kid, too. Talk about someone that's overcome some adversity. So once he puts it on that field, dude, he might shut a lot of the naysayers up, and I'm excited for it.
Absolutely. We got Daddy Sorrell in here, a.k.a. Papa Sorrell. 99 will shine. Appreciate you swinging through, Pops. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Marcus Eversole, we hit that one right. I think we did. Yes, we did. Jordan Love tried hitting, crushing Watson. So it's everybody reporting on the same thing. Here we go. Reed is wide open on a slant. That's the busted coverage. Here we go. Marcus Eversole, DDS, another run stuff on Lloyd. May have gotten a little, quote, reminder not to take anyone to the ground. #thud, said Marcus Eversole. So DDS getting a little too physical out there. There's about to be a fight. You watch. It's just a matter of time. When the coach says, hey, guys, stay away from my damn quarterback. Don't get that close, right? And you got DDS taking Lloyd to the ground when he ain't supposed to. Somebody's about to get smacked. It's about to happen. It's just a matter of time. So, yeah.
I mean, that's one of the things I was talking about is I love the aggression it seems like DDS has. You just got to learn how to pump the brakes just a little bit. You'll get your time. I can't not wait to watch him in preseason, dude. How fun is that going to be?
Absolutely. Cheesehead Noah with the 250 joules. Just said MVP. Appreciate you, buddy. Look at that profile pic, by the way. Got the flat bill brim, the iced out mouth on this cat with a green base collar. Look at that.
Let's go.
What's that cat's name, Jacob?
I don't know, dude. Emilio's cat, probably.
It reminds me of a defensive coordinator that we've seen here recently. Kind of look at that. Look at that picture. Look at that compared to that. Is that not the same person?
The Gannon cat. Okay.
We just need Gannon to have the flat bill hat. That's what we got to have to make that thing match. So love it. Thank you so much for the jewels there. Cheesehead Noah. Appreciate you, buddy. I'm starting to get used to that now, Jacob. I think I understand how it works. Somebody said it's a penny a jewel. So that is a dono. People.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true or not, but somebody told me that. So
I mean,
must be true, right?
Yeah.
That's what's on the streets. Look at this. Wes Heikowitz. Jacob, you want to read this one for me right there at the top of the screen, sir? What's that say right there? What's this say?
Is that McClellan? Sack and twos. Taylor throws away. All right, Dan.
Woo! Chris McClellan signing out there at camp.
So Turtles the same. McClellan been making noise.
Let's go, man.
I'm excited.
Love to see it. Love to see it. Again, I've got him number 3 on the depth chart here, man. I do believe if everything goes as planned, what will end up happening is you will go into week 1, if everybody's healthy, Javon Hargrave 1, Devontae Wyatt 2, or vice versa, right? It could be Wyatt 1, Hargrave 2. Chris McClellan is the 3rd best defensive tackle. He will be your nose. I believe that's what he's projecting. Maybe Javon Hargrave will play nose. I don't know. But regardless, I think McClellan will be in the rotation in our nickel defense as well, though, for sure.
Look what we got here, though, with West with another Campbell sighting, it looks like.
Yeah, let's see here. Did we miss anything else?
Just right at the top there, it looked like.
We'll come back to it. It looks like I missed a couple things here. It just reset. So here we go. Marcus Eversole, DDS blew into the backfield again to stuff Martinez. Been a beast against the run today. Zaire Franklin approves. Had out there cheering him on and shout. So DDS having a hell of a day, boys. Heck of a day here.
Luke's saying I like DDS, but I love the energy, but he's got to chill a little bit.
kind of putting off that Nate Hobbs vibe last year. Remember when he got too physical in camp? They had to run him off. Had to walk back to the locker room barefooted. I do remember that picture. He's walking back to Lambeau from Ray Nitschke Field just in his socks. I say barefooted, but he didn't have any cleats on.
That's funny.
Yeah. Let's see. Sleeper Packers. That's him responding to the Trey Smack update. Love it. Wes Highquist says Isaiah Nayer shows good hands on a 3rd and 5 pass from Taylor. It really does feel like at the wide receiver position, Jacob, that outside of the 6 that we have projected to make the roster, as it sits right now on August the 3rd, it does feel like it's a 2-man race between Isaiah Nayer and J. Michael Sturdivant, doesn't it? To be the next guy in line to potentially take one of those 6 spots.
Yeah, I really love what Nayer brings to the field here, man. 25 years old, just turned 25, 6'4", 220, another Big Ten guy out of Nebraska. I'm excited to watch him as well in the preseason. I hope that he has a good preseason, but quiet enough so that nobody wants to give him a shot. I know that's selfish of me, but barring any injury, I just would love if we could stash both those dudes on the practice squad. I think going into the season, even with some unfortunate injuries, we could still have a really solid wide receiver squad.
Yeah, definitely. If you guys would do me a big favor, smash that like button. We got over 540 people watching here. We got over 300 on YouTube. Hit that like for us. Hit subscribe if you're new here so you can get all of our training camp coverage as we get a little deeper into camp. Appreciate y'all hanging out. This video was tweeted out by Green Bay Packers here, all right? And it says squirrel in all caps. So the question on the screen is, who on the team is the golden retriever? Super nice and happy all the time. Let's see what the guys say. If there's music, I'll have to pause it. Hopefully. I should have checked this. Let's see.
Golden retriever.
Keisean Nixon's the golden retriever, said Devontae White. Here's Javon Bullard's answer.
Like when they hype or something, happy.
All right, so next up, you've got Josh Jacobs and Marshawn Lloyd going to answer the question.
I'm going to go with CV.
Oh, actually, it was Xavier McKinney said CV, didn't he?
CV. Yes, that's a good answer.
Chris McClellan said CV, didn't he?
Like, someone like happy and positive all the time.
All right, who we got here? I'm trying to. Who's that on the left? What do I know? Is that Darian Kennard? Maybe. I don't know. It's a couple big boy offensive line. All right.
And Tucker Kraft. I'm gonna go tough. Yeah, maybe man. Just lovable, goofy, bubbly, and Evan Williams.
That might be like Micah. Micah is like a
Tuck, sure.
kid.
Tuck.
Definitely Tucker Kraft. I think that's to the T. CV.
Carrington for sure.
Golden retrievers be mean. I've been bitten by a golden retriever.
He said, I've been bitten by a golden retriever. What?
Zack Bako Biwele.
Zack. Oh, we just heard it.
Zack Bako Biwele.
Biwele. Zack Bako Biwele. All right, got
Zack
it.
Bako Biwele. He's like a giver. Like, he's a nice guy. He takes care of me. Like, shout out to Bako Biwele.
Nah, we all dogs over here.
We all dogs over here, said Edgerrin Cooper. All right, hopefully the music doesn't get us in trouble there. That was posted by the Packers social media team. Rob Biz with the Super Chat. Thank you so much, buddy. No offense. Reed has been erased from games in the past. How long before Golden surpasses Reed? I believe you guys drafted Watson caused us to get J-Mo. Appreciate the Super Chat, man. I definitely disagree that Reed has been erased from games in the past. Now, if you feel like you didn't hear from Reed for a while, broke the collarbone, was out most of the year last year. But he actually led the Packers in receiving his rookie year, and he led the Packers in receiving his second year. When you say he can be erased, anybody can be erased from a game plan. So I agree with you there, Rob, is if you clamp down on the F, and again, the majority of what he runs outside of screen passes is climb routes, and he'll run a 2-go, right? He'll run that out of the dagger concept. Sometimes they'll have him cheat motion out to the Z to run the dig because they want him going across the middle. But his money play, his bread and butter are the climb routes, no doubt about it. So I personally don't think that he can just be. I mean, everybody can be erased, but it's not easy to erase Jaden Reed. In my opinion. I mean, you look at, we broke it down, Jacob. What was it? His passer rating when targeted last year? He led the NFL in passer rating when targeted, and that's of all wide receivers, by the way. It's NFL Pro data. And then if you go to the year before, he was second, or maybe it was second last year, and he led the year before. So yeah, he's a lot better than people think about Jaden Reed, because again, the Green Bay Packer offense likes to move the ball around a little bit. Now, when you say how long before Golden surpasses Reed, I just disagree with that whole mindset. Like, it's not, is this guy going to, what, you got to be more definitive. Like, what does it mean to surpass someone, right? Because if that means to get them more targets,
yeah,
that simply means that guy is being schemed open more than the other guy. It doesn't mean he surpassed him. What it honestly means, if he surpasses Reed, they're probably clamping down on Reed underneath and opening up things for Matthew Golden. So that's just how I see the game. That's how I talk about the game.
Yeah.
Not saying I'm right and you're wrong, but I just don't look at it that way, if that makes sense. But I kind of agree with what you were saying about going after J-Mo. You see what Watson can do deep.
Yes.
Yeah, go get your
What do you think Holmes of Holmes's MD's comment saying that Reed is the best route runner on the team, in my opinion? Now, I used to think it was Wicks, to be honest, and now obviously he's gone. I mean, I don't know how to answer that, because I think Christian has progressed quite a bit.
Yes. If I had to rank them right now, and this is going to surprise some people, if you watch Matthew Golden's feet, I think he is going to be a better route runner than Jaden Reed. I believe that. It's just you're deploying them two different ways. So it's like comparing Jaden Reed to Matthew Golden. I'm speaking to myself here. Like, comparing those two players is like comparing Shaquille O'Neal to Michael Jordan. They play two different positions. Like, what Shaq does well is very, very important for his team's, ability to be successful, right? Or it's like comparing, Aaron Judge to a leadoff hitter that's got a high on base percentage. Aaron Judge is arguably one of the best players in the game, right? But his strengths are way, way different, and his responsibilities are way different than, a leadoff guy that's going to try to work the count full every single time. So that's just kind of how I look at it. I don't mean to chew the question or anything, Jacob. It's a tough question for me to answer, because I look at it in terms of deployment and what's the defense doing, how's the offense adjusting, what the defense doing.
Yeah, Coach agrees with you. He said Golden's the best route runner. So.
And again, Holmes, I'm not saying that Jaden Reed's a bad route runner. I think it's close, but I do believe, like, Matthew Golden might be a little bit better route runner than Jaden Reed. That's exciting, man. That's exciting when you don't know who the best. And to your point, Jacob, Christian Watson's route running has improved tremendously.
Right.
So that's exciting time to be a Packer fan, no doubt. Moving along here, Campbell with another batted pass. This time he got drones. That's 4 in the last 3 practices. Anthony Campbell going to make it real damn tough. That dude, I think he might be playing himself right on the roster. If we had to replace one of these defensive tackles, Jacob, let's do it, because his name keeps getting brought up. Would it be Carl Brooks?
I just was thinking about it, and
for me, it'd be Nas Stackhouse.
Oh, you dirty dog!
I would, man. I would, because Nas Stackhouse has made it to the practice squad before. Now, here's the thing: if they feel confident that Campbell will make it to the practice squad, then they'll keep Nas, and you know what I'm saying. That'll probably be the deciding factor to have them both on the team. But yeah, what was you going to say? You said Carl Brooks, right?
Yeah, just because I love Carl Brooks and everything, but it feels like it's so few and far between where we get production out of him. This last year, he was 107th out of 127 PFF grade. Again, take that with a bowl of and he's already 26 this year. I don't know, man. It just, to me, I want to give the younger guy a shot. That's clearly, I mean, he is a big dude. I think PFF has him listed at 6'7". It sounds like he's maybe more like 6'6". And he's producing. It's obviously early, but another guy that's going to be I'm going to have my binoculars out, just absolutely zoned in on him in every snap that he's out there in preseason, man.
Yeah. Matt Schneidman tweeted out, Anthony Campbell has batted down 4 passes at the line in the last 3 practices. Second-year defensive tackle from Miami, was a 2025 UDFA who spent time with the Seahawks, Super Bowl winners last year, on their practice squad. Big fella at 6'6", 307. So again, making a here we go. We got a Mervyn Kenyon sighting. Came free on a blitz for a tackle for a loss against Nixon. Is that Jaden? Is there a running back, Jaden Nixon? Am I thinking right? Or no? No, that's not his name. What's that running back's name? The new one, the undrafted.
Oh yeah, Jaden Nixon. You're right.
Yeah, so that's who it was. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Can't believe I knew that. Knocked him down, which ain't ideal. Still a great play. Plus, I think he gave my son his skull cap the other day. Hashtag brownie points.
That's cool.
So, all right, throw it out. Then Marcus Eversole doesn't think highly of me. Just got the skull cap. That's all it was. So, no, but yeah, you're seeing, man, common theme. Defense is being a little too aggressive. They're going to be a fight. It's just a matter of time. One of those offensive linemen going to get pissed off and smack somebody in the mouth. It's going to happen. Here we go. Marcus Eversole, 50 seconds on the clock. Offense down by 2. Ball on their own 30. Jordan Love, the Watson over the middle for 15. Incomplete to Reed up the seam. Bullard in coverage. Let's go. Carrying the seam there. Almost a leap and grab by Reed. Love to Reed for a big gain. Out of bounds with 14 seconds left. Love missed Watson down the right sideline. Too far outside. Smack from 52 off the left upright. Oh, my God.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Okay. All right.
Let me see. Let's see if I can just they said the upright, man. The football
Just the tip, though.
just barely. Oh my God. There's gonna be so many fans that are so pissed off, Jake.
I don't even want to. I think the chat's already catching up. Yeah, it's I just don't understand why we didn't keep more competition in camp.
There's a lot of people that feel that way.
I don't get it. That's the whole point. We kind of went through this with a lot of the other guys that we had, besides basically everybody but McManus. We'd
Who?
and we just wouldn't let them go back to back, like have actual competitions. Let's bring Haverson back. Did he get signed somewhere else? Let me know in the chat. I don't know.
I gotta be honest.
Want to have this conversation.
I did not agree with or like the McManus cut. Now, here's where it gets tricky, though. Many people believe McManus asked to be released, which you can understand that he wants to get on with another team somewhere, right? So it wasn't an ideal situation. But listen, that's what happens when you draft a young player, right? It's going to happen, you know? And that's the thing. This is what you have training camp for. So let's all just calm down. Jacob, you're going to be calm. I'm going to be calm. You're dumb, and the chat's going to be calm, I'm sure. Let's go ahead and read his chat. I'm sure he's calm.
No, it just said Brandon McManus played 25 regular season games for the Green Bay Packers, going 44 of 51 on field goals. That's 86.3% and 64 of 65 on extra points, 98.5%. I think it's basically just highlighting he was pretty good.
Is that good? That's pretty good. All right, moving along here. Smack hits the upright. We've seen it. Defense had 2 big pressures in first team 2-minute drill, but Love hits Watson for 14. So it did mention that there were some pressures in there. We talked about that. Smack from 52 hits the left upright and is no good at the end of a 28-26 drill that started at the offense's 30 with 50 seconds left. Look at Baz. Oh boy, here we go. Yeah, it's happening. Let's see what else we got. Well, it looked like it reset on us. All right, here we go. We're back in it. Smack clings. All right, 60-yard bomb from Taylor to Will Shepherd to work out of a 3rd and 15. Beautiful throw and over the shoulder catch. So Will Shepherd is okay. He's back on the field. Yep. So Tim, you're 1 for 2 today, baby. We got this. You're good to go. Will Shepherd is healthy right now. Moving along. Make sure that everybody's still responding to the Smack information there. There's the deep connection. Anything else? 3rd and 16. There's the deep connection. Same drill. TJ Quinn ends the number 3 2-minute with an interception over the middle off Jones. Ooh. So there you go. TJ Quinn siding out of Louisville. Safety, linebacker hybrid. I think he'll be a linebacker most likely is the plan here. TJ Quinn with a pick of Kyron Jones ends the drive for the 3s. So I think we're up to date there. Let me look at this real quick. If we look at the stack backer position, something we haven't talked about a lot. We broke camp with 4 last year. The projection this year will be Zaire Franklin, Edgerrin Cooper, Isaiah McDuffie, and Tyron Hopper. TJ Quinn, Nick Neiman, and Christian Welch all there as backups. I think TJ Quinn's going to be a candidate for a practice squad. I don't see any scenario where he makes a roster. Do you, Jake?
I don't, barring injury. I just think that we've talked about it multiple times. Hopper has quietly been having a decent career. Obviously, we know what we have in McDuffie and Za, and then Mr. Coop. By the way, did you ever remember the show Hanging with Mr. Cooper?
Oh, yeah. You kidding me?
Dude, I loved that show. I don't know why that just popped into my brain. But anyways, yeah, I think that would be our 4 for sure. And I don't think we'd have a problem stashing Quinn. I like what Nick Neiman does too on that special teams. Mm-hmm. And I think Christian Welch has had a sneaky, steady Eddie career that he doesn't get enough much credit for. But yeah, I think we're pretty set at linebacker. And I think we have decent depth depending on if there's injuries and that kind of stuff. But TJ Quinn, I didn't realize was a little bit undersized, 6'1", 235.
Yeah. Just kind of combing through here, making sure we didn't miss anything else. TJ Quinn, the pick. Yeah, Quinn picks Drones off to end 2 minute. Leaped over the middle and deflected it to himself. Smack gets a kick away from 51 and drills it. We're back, baby. We are back. We're not back, Jacob? Well, I'm expecting more reaction.
I'm trying. Practice returns to make a 51 field goal. That's after one. Okay.
We got to overreact to everything, right? That's what we're supposed to do. So
absolutely.
So practice ends when it counted the most. Trey Smack making a 51-yard field goal. That's
how when it counts the most, he's
what a day by Trey Smack. So Matt Schneidman bringing us back down to earth. Trey Smack good from 51 to finish practice. Finished the day 5 of 8. Now he's 8 of 13 in camp so far. All right.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
And look at this clip right here for Sleeper Packers. Packers long snapper Matt Orzik still on the pup with a calf injury, but is outside doing rehab work during practice. My man working his ass off over there. Look at that.
Oof.
Yeah. Like Mandy whipping my ass for not taking the trash out on time on Mondays right there. As Holmes says in the chat, this shall warrant the strap. So there you go, guys. There's your practice number 5, day 5, whatever you want to call it. That was a lot of fun, Jacob. Anything else you want to hit before we wrap up, man? Kind of what stood out to you today? Is anything at the forefront of your mind, or do you just kind of feel like now it's what we expected?
I really like the aggressiveness of the defense. I need them to pull it back just a little bit in certain situations. We don't want to get each other hurt. That's obviously, not what we're looking for, but I like what Cannonball John was talking about. He says the new upside guys from the past few drafts have now experience in the Packer development. That's been my biggest thing is I really do think that if some of these year 2, year 3 guys can take that step, that all of a sudden we have young guys that are still technically vets that understand the system a little better. But just to go back, I love the way that Gannon seems to have these guys playing with their butts on fire. And, I think Matt LaFleur, I don't know, I'm just speculating. Maybe he asked Gannon, put a little rise on these guys on offense. Let's put a little quarter in them and see if they can start responding with some of that. I know that the offensive line specifically has gotten a lot of flack for the last couple seasons. When Love will get smacked in the backfield, nobody's running up to start throwing haymakers. Nobody's running up to get him up. And I want that fire to be a little more restored. Take care of that. Take care of your boys on offense and get a little more fire underneath you.
Absolutely. So for me, the parting thoughts sound like DDS had a hell of a day.
Yeah.
Sound like the defense getting pretty physical out there. We'll see how that shakes out. And Marshawn Lloyd, so far, so good. Sounds as advertised. Christian Watson, Matthew Golden seem to be a nice little combination that's going on early in camp. It's going to be a blast, man, as we go through the rest of it.
One thing, I didn't think about it even. I'm going to give Trey a little bit of – you know what I'm saying? We just looked at Orzik on the sidelines there. Obviously not the normal snapper. So I wonder if that messed with the sequence a little bit there.
That's a great point, Robert. Could be, man. Could be. And it's early. That's the thing. And I guarantee you he's working on different technique right now. They're trying to iron this. I'll see what work. What you want to do is dial it into where you're missing in one direction. Right. If you're missing one, okay, now we kind of – it's just like zeroing in that sight like we talk about. I mean, you guys know you get ready for deer season, all that. You got to get out there at the range. You got to zero everything in. Or if you're missing wide right, just bring it in, baby. Zero it in. But if you're missing left, you're missing right, you're missing short, can't miss long, obviously. You're missing all over the joint. That's when you're really, really concerned. But I got to hit this one as we wrap up. It's the last comment of the day. J. Cole said, that's him on Red Dead Redemption running from the cops right there. It does look like he's riding a horse, doesn't it? So, Matt Orzik, we need you back out there, Big Hoss. We got to get you back out there. And then, we can't blame the long snapper anymore. So got to zero anything in. So if you guys would do me a big favor, hit that like button, hit subscribe, click the bell icon. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. This was an absolute blast. We will be back tomorrow evening. Most likely no morning show. We'll be back tomorrow evening, getting you guys all the camp update information. Might get the other guys in here too to talk some ball. We'll see what time we go live. And I'll try to get that posted as quickly as I can. But thank you all so much. Can't thank you enough. Everybody with the super chats, the jewels, all that stuff. Appreciate the extra support. And the best way to support what we do here at PTA is just join our Patreon community, patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. $3 get you access to everything over there. And people say, hey, should I be a member on YouTube? You can do that. You can become a member on YouTube. You get custom emojis and all that good stuff. That's totally cool. You can support the show with super chats, with the jewels and things like that. Or if you want to join our community, just go to patreon.com, like we said, and hop in over there. And we're going to be doing fantasy leagues and stuff like that over there as well. So with that being said, everybody have a great day. For Jacob, I'm Clayton. This is PTA. Go Pack, go.
We're out. Bye, guys.